whichever one it'll let you connect to.
Oh my gosh, I'm not entering passwords.
Then do the other one. What a shit show. Get it.
Requesting passwords
For both? Alright, well then just do the other one. Doesn't matter.
Okay.
Did that stop it? The noise?
Yeah.
Yeah. It's because it was... Yeah, I don't hear it at all.
That's crazy. Are we live on YouTube?
We are live. We are live on everything. Everything should be working.
Neato.
You want to do an intro? You want me to do a quick little hello? Hello?
Whatever you want to do.
Welcome back to the Thursday Night Live with To Be Better. This is the final episode of the love language. We are talking about
Physical touch.
all the touches.
Getting handsy.
Getting handsy. The booty smacks.
Yes.
We are live on both TikToks. Got a whole bunch of cameras going. This will be the last time we do a live stream in this room.
Correct.
Potentially even including Patreon lives, which I'm excited about because I really want to get in the other room and have that going.
Me too.
For those of you who are been following along and playing this game with us as we've been doing the 5 love languages, we will be doing the 5 apology languages starting next week. We'll do an intro like we did this time, and then 5 episodes on the apology languages. Do you want to do like a follow-up love language video?
What do you mean a follow-up?
Like we could do a live next week on the love languages and just talk about it as like a final thing.
Like
or
a recap?
Maybe. There might be that next week. We'll decide. However, you have time. If you would like to purchase the 5 love languages book, I'm sorry, the 5 apology languages book, Zeke, if you're in the chat, you can drop that into the chat for everyone. But otherwise, we are ready to go. We don't have a whole lot of house cleaning to do. I do have a couple announcements that will be real quick, and then we'll get into everything.
Okay.
We hit 50,000.
We did.
That was the big number, right? We've been waiting on that. This, ba-ba,
Came in the mail today.
is going to happen tomorrow. I am excited and nervous at the same time. We are going to do the one chip challenge as a 50,000 subscriber hoorah.
Yeah.
And hopefully we'll have enough views on the reaction channel to actually put it on the reaction channel. If not, we'll have to do both. Put it on. I don't know. I'm excited about that.
Me too.
Nervous, but I'm excited.
It's going to be an experience.
Yes, it'll definitely be that.
Yeah.
So we are playing workaholics right now, trying to get ahead with everything. We have a server coming that'll be here on Saturday to help the editing process. So effectively tomorrow, anything we record, I don't have to edit anymore.
Dope.
Because I'm going to put it on the server so that AJ can take care of it. I don't really feel like I have a whole lot more than that. I just wanted to brag about the 50,000 subs in the one chip challenge.
Yeah. I don't got nothing.
You want to say what's up to TikTok and get that going, and then we'll jump into it?
All right. So those of you watching on TikTok, if you're not aware, we are live right now on YouTube, and we are covering the last love language, which is physical touch. So we will not be here the whole time. In about 25 minutes, I'm going to be cutting you guys off. So if you want to watch the rest of the live, you're going to have to go to YouTube. You pulling the chat up?
No, I'm pulling up AJ's chat so that if super chats come through, I can respond to them. Speaking of which, we are we're trying to finish the month of April out really strong. Because we're almost done with the entire month and we're trying to beat what we did last month in terms of numbers.
Correct.
If we get super chats, we will be reading all super chats at the end of the 5 love languages. However, super chats of $50 or more will get answered. We'll get some disruptions going. So if you guys want to, oh my God, shout out, or you have something prevalent to interject, you can drop a $50 super chat and I will relay the messages. If you want to tell your woman she's got a fat ass, on the internet, you can do that. You want to tell her she makes the best gravy and biscuits ever, you can do that. We can just do the thing. And before we jump into this, if you haven't yet, there's a thumbs up button down there you need to hit because that helps us. And if you enjoy our live streams, you need to hit the notification bell because we will be doing pop-up lives as soon as that room is finished, where we'll be going live at random during the week. And you don't want to miss that because they are fun.
Full of shenanigans.
They're fun.
Yes. Anything else?
Share.
Share.
Guys, get your friends in here. Be like, look at these 2 people. covered in tattoos and piercings, looking like a bunch of heathens, speaking facts,
Yeah.
making your relationship better one video at a time.
People are always surprised because of what our appearances are.
Yeah.
And then the things that we say, they're like, wow, I wasn't expecting that.
Yeah.
They look like drug addicts.
Yeah. People been really vibing with us. Episode 21 is going to come out. We're going to lose a bunch of followers.
Yeah.
I'm almost done editing that episode. I am not okay with feminists.
Is that something you just learned about yourself today?
I mean,
you're realizing how drastic it is?
I didn't realize how bad it was. No.
Yeah.
No, I didn't.
I'm gonna get comfy. Okay. I love my new house slippers.
Yeah.
These are so nice. You just want to get into it?
Sure.
All right. So physical touch. So when you think about the five senses, your sense of touch is unlike all of them because it is not isolated to one part of your body. Like your nose is the only thing that smells things. Your eyes are the only thing that see things. But when it comes to touch, you literally have receptors, hundreds of thousands all over your body. So there are going to be more spots that are sensitive. You're going to have to discuss that with your partner. You guys are going to have to play hide and seek with sensitive parts.
Wow.
What?
In the gutter. Like deep dive in the gutter. I need what did they say in the Batman movie? What about spelunking? That's how deep that went.
So I was thinking like behind the ear.
That's not where I was thinking
of
the
the
behind,
neck.
but not the ear.
Wow.
Yeah, good job.
You're filthy.
Very.
Fucking filthy.
Very.
Is it too soon for me to say the F word?
I don't know.
Yikes.
I don't know.
So not everybody is the same. You have to explore your partner to figure out those sensitive spots for them, especially if they are a physical touch person. So the psychological importance of touch. I don't know if you guys have heard of this experiment, but there was the Harlow's monkey experiment in the 1960s. Have you heard of that?
Mm-mm.
So this scientist created barbed wired mother monkeys, and one was a like blanket wrapped one, so it was a comfort, and the other one just had a bottle of food. And they were connected in two separate rooms with a hallway, and the infants were placed in the rooms like you have to choose one. And majority of the time, the infant monkeys would go for the one with comfort. So they would give up having food to have that sense of touch, that need filled. And that was one of the bases of physical touch as one of the most important things to the human body, like subconsciously.
That explains why kids want to cuddle so much.
Yeah.
Because it shows a safety.
Yeah. They also recognize that the lack of physical touch increases anxiety and depression, and it raises stress levels. So when you aren't having playtime with your partner and it's been 2 months and they're super stressed out because they haven't had that physical release.
Yeah. You know that if you do a 1 minute hug, no speaking, just a 1 minute hug, it changes the chemical balance in the brain.
Mm-hmm.
It
also
releases
lowers your
endorphins.
heartbeat.
Yeah. It creates all kinds of like
Right.
internal changes based off of that.
So it actually calms the nervous centers. It slows the heartbeat. It lowers blood pressure and cortisol, which is...
That's on your list?
Yeah.
Ha! Beats to it.
Which is the stress hormone, and it also releases the oxytocin, which is that bonding hormone.
Cortisol is also a reason why most people can't sleep. Mm-hmm. If you reduce cortisol, that stress level goes down and you're able to sleep. Because that's actually like a fight or flight chemical.
I did not know that.
Yep. That's why when I went to the doctor and he was like, how often do you sleep? And I'm like, I don't know, 3-4 hours a night. And he's like, that's not healthy. I'm like, sure it is. I wake up, feel great. I get a whole lot done, more than most people I know because I'm barely sleeping.
Yeah.
He's like, that's not healthy, bro. He's like, you need to start taking melatonin and ashwagandha. I'm like, you're not going to prescribe me pills? He's like, no. I'm like, good. This is herbal. I'll take this. And I did for like 2 weeks. And then it got my sleep patterns back to normal. It was fucking weird.
Really?
Yeah. It was like a month. I took the full bottle of ashwagandha, but then I read that you should not take that for like a long duration. You're supposed to cycle on and off of it because it can fuck with the long-term effects of your serotonin.
Wow.
Yeah. Yeah.
Crazy.
Yep.
So, along with all of the other love languages, of course, physical touch has different dialects. So what worked for one person is not going to work for another person. Someone might like having their back scratched and someone else might want their elbows rubbed. You just have to ask. What was that look away?
Yours are booty smacks and feet holding.
Correct.
That's how I made you fall in love with me. Came over and held your feet while you watched TV on the couch, and you're like, "Oh, I love him."
I didn't even have to ask. Like, I have to keep reminding myself we're live and you can't cut things out.
That's a very good point.
Yes.
One day, AJ would be able to beep while we're talking, but not today.
So, there can be uncomfortable or irritating touches for your person, especially if they are somewhere on the spectrum. So, something that might seem playful to you, like a tickling on the rib cage, might send them into a full-blown panic. That is something that you also have to discuss. And when they tell you that is a no-touch zone, don't fucking touch it. That's going to create a lot of issues. You're going to make them feel like that you don't care about the things that make them feel loved, and that you find their uncomfort or irritating situations comical. And the whole point is to love them. So there are certain touches that demand full attention, like sex, foreplay, massages. So don't be twiddling on your phone when your partner's like, "Hey babe, can you rub my feet for me?"
Wait a minute, you're saying that you can't watch TV in those intimate moments?
I'm sorry. During a massage, yeah, I could see how that's... You guys are both watching TV or whatever, but if we're like getting into it and I look up and I catch you watching Mandalorian, I would be kind of upset.
Okay, scenario. Things are getting hot and heavy.
Okay.
The Mandalorian is on, and you're like, "Are you watching The Mandalorian?" And I'm like, "Can you put this on?" And I hand you a Mandalorian helmet. Somewhere out there, a neckbeard is going, "Yes."
So I do live to make you happy. And
How dope would it have been if I actually had a helmet?
And I've always said I'll try anything once.
That's so funny. That made my face hurt.
So there's those demanding full attention touches, and then there are the little love touches, where if you're passing her in the kitchen, touch her waist, touch her back, give her a kiss on the neck. If he is sitting at the computer and you can tell he's a little stressed out, just go over there and touch his shoulders, give him a kiss and say, "I love you." Those are the implied touches of, "I'm here, I love you," and it's not a prolonged moment. Anything you want to say? Anything you want to add?
No, I'm trying really hard to get over the Mandalorian joke because I really thought that was funny.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm glad you're enjoying yourself.
It's the small things in life. It really is. Yeah. You be up there in that helmet, maybe have the button going, "Yes, yes, 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 yes." It's so fucking stupid.
Yes.
This is what my brain does. Like, it derails like this all the time, and I have to focus so hard to stay on track.
I get that. There are times where you're talking, like when we're driving out to go do cardio, and you're talking, and I'll catch myself. You'll say something, I'll get hung up on that one thing, and my mind will go off in 10 different scenarios and be like, "Oh my God, he's still talking. Refocus. Get back over here." It's hard. I get it.
This is the way.
Stop it.
Chat gets it.
So, example of love touches that imply the "I love you, I'm here" is things that I do for you. This was written at like 5:30 o'clock. 5:30 o'clock.
5:30 o'clock. Got it.
5:30 this morning. So things that I do to express like I'm here and I got you is touching you at the computer when you're sitting here for 4 hours editing. I put my hand on your back. Like if we're standing somewhere and you're telling me about something like decorating the podcasting room, I touch your back. I put my feet on your lap when we're sitting there watching TV.
And then fall asleep.
Yes, that has been happening a lot recently.
I have a question. Because you mentioned the whole driving thing, and I don't want to lose this thought.
Okay.
I know that I talk a lot.
Mm.
That's how I process my thoughts with you, so that you really
Right.
know what's going on, because I will have 400 thoughts about the same thing, and I just got to get them out.
Mm-hmm.
Do you actually listen to all that shit, or do you just tune me out? It's okay if you do. I really won't be mad if you tune me out.
So I don't ever consciously tune you out. Like I said, there are times where you'll say something like an idea, and I'll get hung up on that idea, and I'll think about that idea, and you're still going.
Okay.
So like I stopped at mile marker 10 and you're already at 35.
Gotcha.
So I have to bring myself back in. I'll be like, okay, so I just missed a couple of things he said. I'm sure he's going to repeat it though. So let's tune back in.
I do that shit too.
So no, I never actively tune out
Yeah.
the things that you're telling me. I like the way your mind works.
It'd be okay if you did. I
Yeah.
just was curious. Because if you were like, yeah, I totally do that all the time, I'd start like interjecting really fucked up things as we were talking just to see if you were paying attention.
You can do that now.
Yeah.
That would be hilarious. Yeah. Another thing that I do is I give you a kiss before I leave and when I come home.
Yeah.
And I touch your leg when we go out to dinner. And put my hand on your knee. Those little love touches.
And the arm underneath of the other arm while driving.
Yeah.
You do that a lot. Yep.
My hand on your chest when we hug.
Yeah, you have a weird thing about my chest hair.
It's
which
so nice.
is so gross to me.
It's like a little magical forest. There's certain times when the light comes in through the window and it's just glistening. And the TV backlight, guys, oh my God.
You're such a dork.
It's just gorgeous. Like you're pale, but you have like art decorated all over you. And the pale blue light from the TV. It's nice. If you haven't admired your partner in front of a TV at night, do it.
With the light off.
The light has to be off. That's the key component, yeah.
Because that's the only way I look good with my clothes off.
Shut the fuck up.
That was pretty aggressive.
Take it back.
No.
Take it back.
Make me. Do your job.
No. Not until you bring back some more self-positivity. That's unacceptable.
I have a great personality.
You have a fantastic personality.
There's some positivity for you.
So, I will accept that because I wasn't specific. That's my fault.
Winning.
So, going forward, I would appreciate it if you did not talk shit on one of my most favorite beings to look at in the universe. I feel personally slighted by this.
Yeah?
Yeah.
When we're done with the live stream, we can wrestle about it.
I'll accept that. So those little love touches require very little time, but you have to put a lot of thought into them. So if you are not somebody who grew up with that I love you touchy-feely family of constant hugs and hand holding. Wow.
You were right the second time.
I know, I'm flustered.
I didn't grow up with any of that.
No.
And I hate it. I don't like being touched. I like it when you touch me, but I don't have to put thought into that. There's no thought process that goes into that. Just do what I want to do. If I want to touch your butt, touch your butt. I'm going to caveman you over my shoulder and run to the bedroom. I'm gonna.
Okay.
Like, there's just not. Do people really have to put thought into those things?
Yeah.
Do you put thought into those things? Or does it just come natural to you?
It depends.
That's weird. Why do you have to put thought into touching your person? Shouldn't you want to touch them? Like,
It's not putting thought into wanting to touch them. It's if I touch them here, is it going to like make them freak out? Is it going to be a ticklish spot? I'm trying to be cute.
I guess
Overthinkers get it.
I don't, because
Yeah.
I'm on autopilot.
Okay.
If I start touching and you start laughing, then it's game time.
No.
Oh, yes. Yes. Turn you into the
Unacceptable.
Wicked Witch. Start calling you Alphaba. I'll get you, my pretty, and your little dog, too.
I love it and I hate it.
The funny thing is Patreon has heard that witch cackle.
What if I pee myself?
That's funny.
Don't do that.
This morning,
I was just thinking about that. Shut up.
the kids were getting ready to go to school, and they were like, hugs. And I was like, you want a big squeeze or a little squeeze? And they're like, little squeeze. Because, they're afraid I'm going to, like, crush them.
Yeah.
And you were getting ready to leave, and I was like, big squeeze or little squeeze? And you're like, don't squeeze me too hard, I'll fart. And I spun you around real quick, and I, like, Heimlicked your stomach twice, trying to get you to let one go. And I'm so glad you didn't, because I hadn't thought that through. But had you farted or, like, sharded, it would have ended up all over my fucking...
Yeah.
Yep. Good times. I just don't care. It wouldn't. I would have laughed. Like, had you actually farted on me, that'd have been fucking hysterical to me.
I enjoy us. Whew, okay. Composure.
Grußfraba.
So, we associate certain things with physical touch. For example, if a man goes to shake your hand and you deny that man a handshake, that's like a fuck you.
Yeah.
So, if your partner's love language is physical touch, and in moments of you being frustrated or something happens, you remove that physical touch, that's like I don't love you anymore. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
If you're going to do that, you should do it super petty and, like, grab the wrist like it's gross. And be like, no.
Like wilted lettuce or something?
How dare you put tomato on my sandwich?
I would be the flick.
This is going so much better than episode 21. The hostility today has been balanced with happiness.
But why did the flick actually make me go this bitch? It's one thing to be like, okay, but like, oh my God. That gives me like the same insult as like someone taking off a white glove and slapping you with it.
I challenge you to a duel, sir.
Yes. You better never do that.
Yeah. I could be mad as fuck at you, and if you touch me, I'm not gonna make you stop that.
I appreciate that. Likewise, I would never tell you not to touch me.
I think that in the moment, anyways, that would have been a whole different side rail. We're not doing that.
Okay. Do you want to keep the lives going?
AJ, should we keep the lives going on TikTok? Oh, he just said give a TikTok warning when you can. Look at that. We're all on the same page.
Oh, dope.
While we're doing this, though, everybody always asks where I get these. People really enjoy my t-shirts. Mm-hmm. So for those of you who have been asking me, we have been trying to get a discount code, and we finally got it. RelentlessDefender.com. To be better is the code. It'll save you 15%. They got back to me yesterday. I'm super fucking stoked. I have like 85 to 90% of their shirts. So now I have to go and order the rest of them so that when we record, I can wear their shirts and talk about their company. Yep.
That's so dope. All right, TikTok, I'm going to cut you off in 5 minutes.
This motherfucker said you're giggly as shit tonight. Did she slip you an edible? LOL. No. Okay, just because you said that, you asshole. Episode 21 is going to be
it's aggressive
misandry episode, because the first 2 or 3 emails were literally women who were talking about how they hate men, and they were not taking any accountability for the things that they were saying. And within the first 30 minutes of the episode, I was fucking livid.
Yeah.
And I had to suppress my anger the entire recording. And I didn't realize how bad it was until I started editing it. Episode 21 is not going to be a good one. Yeah. All that talk about how I need to tone it back, not on episode 21.
Happen.
Nope.
No.
So that's the thing. We did get the disclaimer done today, though.
We did.
I feel like today's been a productive day.
I finally got my closet cleaned out. Yeah.
Yeah.
Got things going, yeah.
Podcast room is almost done.
Waiting on the chairs.
Yep. Should have been here today, but, FedEx.
Ugh. What an inconvenience to my life.
Yep. I'm going to open a delivery company, and it'll be a brown truck like UPS that fades into a white like FedEx. And I'm going to call it Fed Up.
Can you legally do that?
I don't know. I don't see why not.
I'm pretty sure they trademarked that brown. So it might have to be like an off brown.
Not even going to laugh at my dad joke, huh?
What do you mean? Oh, Fed Up?
All right.
It's funny. I'm
done.
focusing on the logistics of it. I don't think it's feasible.
That's the second time you've hurt my one feeling.
You're becoming sensitive.
It's just the one. It's like an exposed nerve, and you're like, bing.
I just don't want you to get sued.
Oh, I'll get a cease and desist first.
Continuing.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So, crisis and physical touch. People get really weird around people when somebody dies. They don't know how to handle the person. They don't know what to say, what to do. They're kind of just like standing there with, I don't know what to do with my hands. So a touch during a crisis communicates a safety and a love. So we read an email recently where a father-in-law passed away. Son was very close to his dad. And it created a rift between them because she felt as if her emotional needs were not being met during the time of his father passing away.
Right.
If they had just stayed together and instead of going home at 7:00, let the child fall asleep on a couch at grandma's house, that physical touch and I am here, like you're safe with me, that would have changed the whole direction of everything happening in the relationship.
Yeah. I think there's a lot of things from that email that could have changed the direction of the relationship.
Right. But I'm not going to get into all of that.
Do you know what episode that was? AJ, if you know what episode that was, put it in the chat.
I don't know what episode that was.
Or Zeke, or Danielle, or Jenny, anybody that actually has done clips for us because it was recent.
So in moments like that, where there's a death, a car accident, an illness, a massive disappointment in life, like not getting hired for a dream job. Why are you looking at me like that?
I was about to go, me? Massive disappointment in life.
Come on, so
that was good. That was good.
Degrading.
Oh, whatever. That was good. That was a good moment for me.
A good like self roast.
Yeah. It was said with a smile. I obviously don't mean it, but that's funny.
Okay. I'll give that one to you. That is good.
All right.
Yeah. Okay. So in moments like that, words will mean very little, especially if your person is a physical touch person.
Right.
In that moment of grief, one of the things that they will always remember is you being there physically for them. Do you want me to end the TikToks?
Yeah, I think now is the time to do that.
Okay.
You can hand me mine and I'll shut mine off while you shut yours off.
Oh, God. Oh, wow. That's heavy. All right. Bye, guys. If you want to finish this, go over to YouTube. Oh, Lord. I don't know what I'm doing.
Guys, if you are buying shirts from Relentless Defender, please make sure you use that code. That 15% off adds up. I think the last time I ordered shirts from them, I got 6 t-shirts. It came out to like $120.
Yeah.
And they're comfortable. So if you've bought shirts from us, the material's the same, which is good for me because I'm very weird about my clothing.
So before I end this, I just wanted to read this real quick. Taylin Ned Gurdon said that I am her biggest role model. And that means a lot to me. I appreciate that.
Are you still live?
Yeah.
Yeah, you should make sure to tell them to go to YouTube.
I just wanted to read that real quick. I love that. I hope you are actually gaining things from this. And if you guys want to finish the rest of the love language with us, go to the YouTube channel, number 2, Be Better. See you later.
While we're plugging things, like, subscribe, and share. Do all that shit. Hit the notification bell. That way you can get notifications for lives. We still have some t-shirts left on tobebetter.co. The book list, the recommended reading list is on the website as well. We have got PDF check-ins up there now as well. And if you haven't signed up for Patreon yet and gotten into the Discord community, you're really missing out.
Missing out.
Discord, if you're in the chat, sound off.
Hey.
Let's see that To Be Better Nation.
I have not been in the Discord for the last few days because I've been so busy,
Yeah.
and I feel like I'm missing out on things.
I've been in there a lot today for the men's group, looking back and forth because I've started collecting payment that's going to start on the 1st.
Yeah.
And I'm fucking stoked. I've
love that.
got week 1 figured out. We figured a lot of that out today while we were walking.
Mm-hmm.
There were things that I wasn't ready for, so I'm really glad that I put my agenda for week 1 up because people started hitting me with questions I wasn't prepared for, and me and Dakota figured that shit. Dakota and I figured that shit out.
Good catch.
I like that kid, dude.
Yeah.
That man, that guy, that dude. Everybody's a kid to me. I'm a 42-year-old man child. I don't know what to tell you.
So, into scenario 1. This might be the only scenario, but scenario 1. First bullet point. So these are just bullet points to tell a story of a relationship. So this couple started dating senior year of high school. Things were great through college. So they went to 2 separate colleges and they saw each other frequently. So they were not living together through high school and through college. So their relationship was still in that dating phase, like seeing each other maybe every weekend, every other week. They don't see each other at their most stressed out moments. Seeing somebody super stressed out for a week is completely different than seeing them on Tuesday for a lunch date. And you don't see their coping mechanism. So when you live with somebody and you see how they cope with things or how they don't cope with things and are just constantly in victim mindset, that changes your perspective on them and you start to realize, okay, maybe this is not what I want. That's important to remember in all of this.
I'm going to come back to that.
Why?
Because there's a lot I want to discuss in that.
Okay, so do that now.
It's not going to derail you?
No.
Okay. We talk all the time about that 2-year obsession phase and then moving in with somebody and having that adjustment period when you're going from being individuals to living together. Mm-hmm. And that the recognizing, I kept wanting to say recognition, I guess that is probably the right word, but the realization that the person that you are moving in with you've only experienced half of them. You've not got to see them on days where they're waking up, scratching their ass, walking to the bathroom. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And you haven't had to deal with them when their family is on the phone, stressing them the fuck out and creating a bunch of drama that's not necessary. Mm-hmm. And you haven't dealt with them not cleaning up the water on the floor after the shower and all the really small things that drive you up absolutely insane about a human being that's now doing it in your home or you're doing it in theirs. That is something that we actually have talked about a lot on the podcast.
Yeah.
I guess it's just relevant because that's where my mind went to that. Like you mm-hmm. just because you've been with somebody for a year, if you've not lived with them, you really don't know the ins and outs or their bad habits.
You don't really know somebody until you live with them for a while.
Yeah. That explains why we get those long distance emails where somebody's like, oh, I've been long distance with the guy for 2 years and he moved in and it's been 6 months and things are falling the fuck apart. Yeah.
It's because you didn't know them.
Yep.
Second bullet point. Married 3 weeks after he graduates. So let's say senior year of high school and they go to college for 4 years. So they've been together for 5 years, but they haven't lived together yet.
Right. And 2 different schools.
2 different schools.
Right.
So they are married 3 weeks after he graduates and they move to Florida 2 months after that. So there's 2 massive life changes in less than 6 months.
Right.
Moving is stressful. I hate moving. Absolutely despise it. And then you're married. So that is a marriage. Getting married that day is supposed to be like that super high. You're going to be riding that honeymoon phase for at least 6 months. The move to Florida is going to add stress to that. So because you're in that honeymoon phase, that stress is going to be lessened.
Yeah.
And you guys are going to cope with it differently because it's going to be, oh, it's no big deal. We're married. Life is great. 6 months after being married, the wife starts to notice that her husband is withdrawing from her. That typically doesn't happen 6 months after being married. I would say typically about a year after that. That's when those issues start coming in of, you don't love me anymore, things are changing, we're falling into a routine, whatever's going on. So the reason that she feels like he is withdrawing is because he is working longer hours. And when he is home, he is constantly on his computer.
I'm going to pause you and say that it's not just marriage, it's the moving in that happens.
Yeah.
Okay.
So once she recognizes that she is feeling he's withdrawing because of how much time he's putting into work and what he's doing at home relating to work, she expresses that to him and she feels ignored or avoided. He responds with, I'm not avoiding you. I'm trying to excel at work. I want to do the best that I can. I want to get promoted. I want to make as much money as I can, and I want to give us a comfortable life. He stated clearly that she does not understand the stress he is under at work and that he needs some space. So she gives him the space. She backs off. She feels as if things were left unresolved, but she doesn't want to push it further because he's stressed. Since that conversation, the wife starts to make friends in the neighborhood, other wives. They start making plans to go out on dinner dates, girl time, going shopping, whatever they're doing. So instead of coming home immediately after work, she's going out with her girlfriends. And there are certain days where she's coming home after he gets home from work, and that pisses him off. So here in one instance, she's saying that I feel like you don't spend any more time with me. You're devoting everything to work. You're neglecting our marriage. And now because she's giving him the space that he asked for, he's mad that the wife is no longer home. When he gets home, he feels as if she's being thoughtless or irresponsible. And she would respond to that claim of being irresponsible with, well, if you don't tell me what time you're getting home from work, what time should I be home? There's no communication there of that back and forth.
Right. Yeah, it sounds like their marriage is a fucking mess.
So the biggest breakdowns are her saying that he is spending too much time at work, or because he's spending so much time at work, she feels neglected. Or when you come home, you're always on your computer. Like, why do you even want a wife at this point? Her love language is quality time. Because he was focused more on work, which guys do, women do it as well, but it's more guys who focus on, I need to get this done. Stress from work brings it home. There's no more intimacy, all of that stuff going on. When you are focusing on work, you are going to work to provide a future for you and your wife. If you put your work before your wife, you're going to get to where you want to go, but she's not going to be at your side anymore because you were so focused, you neglected her love. Make sense?
In this scenario, yes.
You have anything you want to add?
It sounds to me like all of that could have been avoided if they just knew how to fucking talk to each other. If they just figured out what the actual root of the issue was, they wouldn't be in this weird predicament.
Right.
That was a whole lot of shit that we could have avoided if they'd have just listened to our podcast.
Yeah. So I touched on her love language is quality time, and then he comes to discover that his is physical touch. After getting married, she would start to turn him away intimately.
No.
And he was chopping it up to, you know, she just got her nursing degree. She's working all these crazy hours. She's exhausted. I get it. And
She had a headache. She's too tired.
And then it started getting to a point of, well, if she's not going to touch me, I'm not going to touch her. And then he waits 6 weeks before she initiates any sort of touch. So they went 2.5 months without physical contact because they were playing that game of, I'll just wait to see how long it takes for her to touch me. When you play those games, you're only hurting yourself. If you are lacking in a love language, because he wasn't receiving that physical touch and he was being rejected, he withdrew his time and focused on work to avoid being hurt. If he had just said, babe, I recognize you're rejecting me a lot and it's really starting to hurt my feelings. Is there something I've done? If you had that one conversation, it would have never fallen down to him focusing on work, her going out with friends and neglecting wifely duties, him getting frustrated because his wife's not home, because she doesn't feel loved. And the root problem was he didn't say, I don't feel loved because I feel as if you're not interested in me anymore.
Before you continue, can you explain to me what wifely duties are? This is important.
So I wasn't expecting that question.
You use the term.
Right. So wifely duties are, I would say, unwavering loyalty, not undermining when you have given the man who has shown you that he is capable of leading the household, not being argumentative in situations that come down to, for example, safety. Like if we were in public and you were like, we're leaving, I'm not going to stand there and be like, okay, well, why are we leaving? And now all of a sudden there's an active shooter.
Right.
Wifely duties include having the playtime. So if you have gone 6 months with, I have a migraine, I have a headache, and you haven't had any intimate time with your man, and that's a problem, especially if you're using that I have a headache as an excuse to avoid him and not having a communication.
So it's not cleaning the house and doing dishes and all of the jobs that everybody wants to.
I mean, if that's what was discussed prior and those are the jobs of the household that are split.
Right. Well, no, it's important that I want that differentiated. I want that to be very clear.
Yeah.
That what I'm supposed to do as a husband is to protect, provide, and lead.
Yeah.
Make sure you're safe. Make sure the kids are safe. Make sure that there's food in the house for you to put it on the table.
Right.
That's my husbandly duty, to make sure that first and foremost my family is taken care of. All of the making sure the car maintained is secondary.
Right.
Unless it's a safety concern, then it's a first. You know what I mean? The idea of husbandly duty and wifely duty comes down to what you owe each other, not what you're supposed to be doing in the home in terms of chores. And too many people get caught up in that shit. And I understand that we look the way that we look, but we have a traditional relationship and it fucking works because we understand what we're talking about.
Right.
We understand that we're here to serve each other. It's not about you serving me and me doing whatever the fuck I want. It's about an ebb and flow. I don't know. You brought it up. I get stuck on
Right.
phrases. I had to.
It's okay.
Okay.
I feel like being your piece is another one of those things.
Yeah.
If I'm just constantly a tornado in the household and making your life less enjoyable, why am I here? What?
Hang on. This might be relevant. It might not. So my friend April in California watches us every Thursday night.
Okay.
Which is super dope for me
That is
because
pretty
every once in
dope.
a while we'll talk afterwards. I'm totally going to put her on blast.
Okay.
She just sent me a text message from her. Oh God, ... I'm triggered. As a full-time employee and a full-time nursing student, that dude in the scenario has no fucking idea how hard nursing school and the job actually is. Triggered. I really wish that I could see. I can't wait until we get in the other room. I want to be able to see what's going on in the chat because I'm sure that there are people that are commenting things that are prevalent to us.
Mm-hmm.
And there would be things that would trigger my thought process that would allow me to engage with you differently than our normal back and forth. And it would be beneficial to these.
Right.
We are leveling up in this bitch. We are going into that room next week and we are going to do the thing.
Okay.
I am excited.
I am excited as well.
What you doing over there?
Trying to figure out where I want to go. Because you don't like me sitting here reading my notes, I ab-lib a lot of it.
I don't care if you read your notes. I just like talking to you.
I'm hitting points that I've already hit, but they're all over the place now because I'm not going down my bullet points.
Well, stay on your bullet point. What are you doing?
You've told me not to read it.
You do your thing. You do the best thing that you can do. I just want to be able to talk to you in the process. So if I interrupt your little shit over there, just know that you signed up for this. You can squint eye me all you want.
Right, because you've told me specifically that it doesn't look good when I'm sitting here reading a notebook and we're live.
Right.
So you want me to ab-lib it.
No, I want you to know what you're talking about.
I feel like you're doing the 1-2 shuffle right now.
Yeah, please don't throw anything at me. Look.
I'm not going to throw anything at you.
If you have to read from your notebook, that's fine.
Okay.
I really don't care. I'm so used to having the giant iPad in front of your face that I'm just grateful that you can see it from down here.
Yeah.
Because if this is what we're doing, this isn't fun.
Right. So, this is also a very short one.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, a list of things that you can start initiating with your partner if their main love language is physical touch. Hold their hand in public.
Hold me.
What's that song by Hootie and the Blowfish?
I don't know.
What is that?
God damn it. The alarm in the living room because of the power outage earlier. The little alarm clock. Yeah, it'll stop eventually.
What the hell is that song by Hootie and the Blowfish?
I have no idea. I don't
Hold
listen to
my
that shit.
hand. I'm pretty sure that's it. When you're out shopping, get them a gift with a texture that they enjoy, like a blanket or a sweater, a cardigan, something. Did you just raise your eyebrows at me? Is that how I said cardigan?
No, I just listen to you talk.
When you purchase them something that has a texture like that, it's going to remind them of you and it's going to satisfy their need for the physical touch. I'm going to lose my mind at that clock.
Do you want me to go turn it off?
Please.
You get
Thank
to entertain the live chat while I'm gone.
Oh, Jesus.
No pressure.
Well, you guys having a good day? For all my other stoners out there, let's take this as a moment to take a hit. It would really suck if that got us kicked off of YouTube. It's medicinal, if that changes anything. Yeah. That was nice. We just all took a moment to take a hit. Well, I did. If they joined in, that's dope.
AJ, can you tell me if I'm allowed to drink on YouTube? that a thing? Am I allowed to have a glass of whiskey while we're recording? Is that going to get me a violation? I would like to know.
Inquiring minds would like to know.
Yep.
Next point. At random, walk up behind your spouse and embrace them or rub their back and say, I love you. Just at random in the house and then walk away. Just a little moment of, I got you. Then disappear. I love it when you do that.
It's like a run by groping.
Have you ever seen that meme of, I want to say his name is Eric Andre, where he's sitting in the chair and he's like, how dare you say something so controversial yet so brave?
I don't know who it is, but I have seen that meme.
Because you're not wrong.
You know,
You guys know that song Drive By Train?
nope, don't know that one either.
It's playing in my mind now. Go ahead.
When it comes to the physical touch thing, the ones that stand out to me the most with us is the intimate moments in the kitchen where I come up behind you, because I am notorious for that. Bite your trap, put arms around you, just kind of dance a little bit in the kitchen. Ooh, soda.
Burpee.
And chips, spicy chips. But the one that stands out to me the most is when we lay down at night.
Yeah.
We lay in a certain position every single night, and then when you're done and you roll over and I'm done with TV, I roll over and we lay in a certain position. And for the first time ever in my life, I've fallen asleep in that way. Nope, can't drink on the live stream. Lame.
Why?
No idea.
It's not like
He's
you're
still
12.
typing. I don't know.
Crazy.
It would probably get us demonetized. Dude, there's a whole lot of in there. Need to move that over a little bit. He said, I mean, you can, but can't be see-through and advertise as alcohol or say a spicy ginger ale. Or say it's a spicy ginger ale. I was going to set the bottle down and actually do a whole ordeal, but
Unfortunate.
it is it's okay though. I don't mind.
You going anywhere with that? Other touches?
Just that people have their favorite touches. Like
Yeah.
you have ones that really matter to you and the other ones that are just kind of like your normal everyday things. Like, you know, the touches of like, I enjoy when you put your arm around my arm when we're driving. That's kind of a weird thing that we do.
Why is that weird?
Because it's like we're walking down an aisle elbow to elbow, like locked. It's just very weird. It's not something that I've ever done with anyone else.
Okay.
And then the one at nighttime when we lay down, those are the ones that mean the most to me. And I know the ones that mean the most to you are probably the foot holding while we're watching TV and then also laying down because you comment on it every fucking night. This is my favorite part of the day. So like,
Do you ever get tired of me saying that?
no, it makes me feel good to know that you actually still want to lay down and
Yeah.
watch TV and just vibe with me because it's, you know, the time that we've spent together that should have faded by now and it's not at all. So, yeah.
I never just say it to say it. Like, I think it in that moment. I'm like, I'm going to tell him that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
'Tis important.
Yes. Okay, next one. Ugh, I love reminiscing about our life with you. So this is an example they gave from the book, and I really didn't want to alter it because I was just exhausted by the end of this. So Super Bowl games. People have parties for those. At those parties, in front of friends and family, like hug your partner or hold their hand or sit next to them on the couch with your arm around them. Give them that physical embrace in front of others. That shows that we have a fuck ton of people in our house, but I still see you.
Yeah. You are the most important person in this room.
Yeah. Big one.
Yep.
And then
That should be like that in public too.
I just wrote and highlighted the 5 apology languages.
So that we could talk about that.
No, because this is currently a blank page. But I started it.
Right. I meant so that we could talk about it, like to plug it.
Yeah.
Oh.
Oh, we could, yeah. The apology language.
So that's you getting ready to start writing in your book.
correct.
Gotcha. I thought that was a note to yourself to plug the 5 apology languages.
No, but that would have been smart.
You could have just played along and been like, yeah, exactly.
No, because I had no idea what you were talking about.
We Zeke, if you were still in the chat, you can drop that link again. We have an Amazon affiliate, so if you guys buy from our book list, we get a kickback. What are you laughing at?
Amaphon.
So we do get a kickback for that. Full disclosure, we are an affiliate. Why is that so funny to you?
Because that's something I'd say.
Yeah.
Amaphon.
Is this what it feels like when you have your Ben and Fishbowl moments?
Yeah, I guess.
Nice. Now I get it.
Yeah. Sorry, continue. I'll contain it.
But with us moving on to the next series, doing the 5 apology languages, it would make sense for them to get the book so they can follow along. Are we done?
Yeah.
So at the beginning of this, when we did our intro video, I asked everyone who is watching in that live to write down what they think their love languages, the top 3 are, and their partners. And at the end of this, now that we've read them all and you guys have discussed it and you've read the book, I want you to look at that and see how absolutely right or wrong you were.
And I want to know.
Yeah. So you can leave that in the comments. Actually you can leave it in the chat, but we'd prefer it in the actual comments down below. So that we can go back and actually look to see where you were wrong. And it's fun for us.
It is fun for us. Getting comfy.
Yep. We didn't get a single interruption tonight.
Wow.
Yep. Feeling a little less love today.
Tis what tis. I'm just happy to be here.
Yeah.
Super comfy.
I see that.
I like this cardigan. It's very nice.
AJ is typing.
No, AJ.
I don't have anything else to talk about with the love languages.
Me either. I mean, there's a lot left in the book. So the apology. The love languages, the first through the 5th one is the first half of the book. There's a second half of that book that I'm not going to get into.
Okay.
So if you want to know the rest of the book, buy it.
The love languages book?
Yes.
Why don't you want to get into it?
Because I have done majority of the work for you.
Oh.
Now I'm releasing the flock.
Gotcha.
Go discover on your own and learn your partner. And if you're interested in the book, it is The 5 Love Languages by Gary Chapman.
Are we gonna do another a pop-up live where we talk about the never split the difference? Is that gonna be a thing?
Yes, I'm going to work on that. Tomorrow's Friday. I was probably going to work on that tomorrow.
Yeah.
He's just popping off over there.
Nope. These are emails and side quests.
Side quests.
Yeah. Theoryman Dan said, "This is the way I have spoken." Mandalorian joke. $2. Judas Deluxe. Who's chat and why does every streamer know him? I don't understand.
Chat?
I don't know. Kim Martin. I'm with Chris. It's. Oh shit.
What?
It's scenario, not scenario. She typed it out in the super chat. I fucking loved that.
I came here to have a good time and I'm honestly just feeling attacked right now, guys. Scenario.
So is it data or data? And how are you going to spell that one? Gustavo Lopez says, "I love you, Aditi." ADITI with a heart. I don't know. Zeke said, "Relationships are cured in times of adversity." Do you mean cured like meat cured? Like preserved? Right. Katrina Shields. "I just want to say thank you to my man for being so receptive." I like that. I like the word. I like the way that's written. Very good so far. "We've been listening to y'all together and had our first real check-in the other night. I love you, Jordy, and I'm really proud of us." Katrina Shields, if you are still listening, I would like to know how your check-in went. If you are willing to disclose that information, put it in the chat so that AJ can send it to me, please. T. Dima. "Oh shit, just because he called out no interruptions, $75.
Oh shit.
Love that. Did you ever think that we would get to this point?
God, no.
Right?
No.
Yeah.
Crazy.
Jordan Boudreaux, Boudreaux, Boudreaux. I really fucked
Bordeaux.
up. Bordeaux. I knew that I was wrong. I've seen that name before. I should have known better. "I absolutely appreciate everything y'all have talked about. You guys have helped me better myself so much. Please never stop. Y'all have made such a difference in my life." I want to know how. How did we make a difference in your life? What did we do?
I need descriptors.
Give me the details.
Moss.
What are we going to do about the sideshow?
I want to do the book thing.
So moving forward, do you want to just stop reading emails for the sideshow and just do those and do lives on Wednesdays?
Yeah.
That would eliminate our record time if we're just doing live on Wednesdays.
That'd be dope.
What do you guys think about that? Leave that in the chat.
Midday live.
Yeah, like 11 o'clock thing.
Yeah, 11 a.m.
She fucking did it.
What?
Kim Martin at Chris. It's data, not data. She figured out a way to write it out. DAYTA. Data, not data.
It's data. I say the way I say things, guys. This is something I'm not willing to change about myself.
I just like that she was able to figure out how to like.
Oh yeah, that's definitely impressive.
Spell it to make us.
Should work for Google.
Yeah. Oh man.
I want dinner.
Oh yeah, we didn't eat it, did we?
Mm-mm.
I was editing and AJ was like, "Are you excited for the live?" And I was like, "Man, I got like 2 or 3 hours to worry about that." And I looked down, it was like 6:20. I'm like, "Oh fuck." No, I'm not. I'm not ready for the live.
The last time you said it was 6:20 and it blew my mind because the last time I looked at the clock it was 4:15.
Yeah. Yep. AJ, give me some information, bud. What do we got going on here? Boudreaux. Lorraine, congratulations on reaching more than 50K subscribers. One chip challenge. Come on, $50. We're doing the one chip challenge tomorrow.
I'm so excited. I'm going to wear my workout outfit.
Yeah.
Because I know I'm going to get sweaty.
I think that we should record it and put it live on TikTok. Multitask it.
Okay.
I am excited about that. I'm not looking forward to it. I fully intend to wear gloves, and I intend to break the chip into 3 or 4 pieces so that I can get it past my lips and into my mouth.
Smart.
Because though I'm okay with having my mouth burning like I ate a coal, I don't want my lips to be inflamed and on fire because that's the worst.
Yeah. They're going to get all swollen and shit.
Yep. People are saying Thursday, not Wednesday. Well, we already do a live on Thursday. And we record the podcast on Thursdays. Mm-hmm. So we were looking to do something midday, but we could just keep recording them. It doesn't really matter.
Okay.
I actually do. I would like to do live streams during the day because we have a lot of people that are overseas that watch our content that stay up late to watch us. And it would be cool to be able to give back to them by recording at our, noon our time or whatever. What you doing over there?
I'm lurking the chat. Seeing what people are typing.
Anything of value? This is exactly what it looks like when we do our Patreon lives.
It is.
She just holds her phone and reads off things and we talk about it.
Not particularly. It was Hold My Hand by Hootie and the Blowfish.
Well, there you go. You can always count on the chat to give you the information.
Thanks, guys.
Oh, man.
Oh, Desert Rose said, "Hi, Peaches. What's up, homie?" Ooh. $2 from Austin T. Gatza. I like that last name. Gatza. That's nice. It's like glue. It just does things for my brain. Jordan Bordeaux, 1999. "I've always passed blame, played victim. Y'all have literally slapped me in the face and put me in my place." I love that it rhymes.
If you're gonna be reading super chats, I can close my iPad.
Okay.
I just got 3 I have to read, but I would love for that to be a thing because I fucking hate this.
Okay, I'll do it.
All right, so let me read these first. Shannon Orth, what if the man, all caps, won't be physical because he says we aren't getting along?
Repeat that.
What if the man won't be physical because he says we aren't getting along? Sounds to me like you guys got some shit you need to work out.
Right.
And he's not trying to be used.
How are we not getting along?
Yeah.
Yeah, I wouldn't want to do anything intimate either.
Well, yeah. So
we're at odds.
You said be physical, and I'm thinking, let's get physical. Yeah, right? So are we talking about holding hands? Because that's different.
Right.
If we're talking about doing the horizontal shuffle, the horizontal tango, then that's a different scenario because then you're grudge fucking. That's not the same thing. Like,
right.
You should save that for makeup sex.
I wouldn't say the horizontal tango because the tango is a very nice dancing movement.
Is it? It's aggressive.
It is.
Have you heard? Bah, 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 bah.
I don't know. I just feel it's more of like a fish out of the water. Just
okay.
A lot of aggressive thumping.
Amber Burns says, I was just talking to my hubby earlier that I had been wanting to do something special for him, and he was talking about Chris's shirts, and bam, now the hubby's shopping.
Oh,
Love that.
fantastic.
Be the unwanted. Biggest green flag in my partner before we got together was him telling me he listened to this podcast, and now we are both listening to this. I love that.
Hell yeah.
Tell me that you're finding somebody that's trying to be the best version of themselves without telling me that they're trying to be the best version of themselves.
That's what I want for everybody.
Yeah, same. That's dope. And then we got one more. It's a super chat. Super chat. Marissa Ruiz. As a single woman, thank you for the tools and standards I should have moving forward in the future relationships. No more settling. All right, I'm putting this down. AJ, you can message me if you want. I'll read it to the phone, but she's got hers in her hand.
Okay. So, I don't know. All right. Going back to Jordan Bordeaux's. I've been working on me to be better, learning to hold my boundaries, just slowly becoming better. Marissa Ruiz. As a single woman, thank you for the tools and standards. Oh, we just read that one.
Yep.
Yeah. Out of the Days Productions. $5. What is your opinion on the cultural Marxism and the inversion of Christ in society and how that has impacted our society and culture, especially in marriages?
As much as I would like to have this discussion with you, I'm not going to get into that. I strongly disagree with Marxism, communism, and socialism, and pretty much everything to do with our government currently. As for the religion aspect of that, I'm not sure what you mean by the inversion of Christ, but we are followers of Christ and we have our faith, and I don't know where you were going with that.
Okay. Jenna Leal, $1.99. Do you drink bourbon or whiskey, and what's your favorite?
I prefer bourbon, but I will drink a good whiskey. And by a good whiskey, I mean like a 10-year Michter's is a decent whiskey for me. In terms of... What is this? I don't know what that means, AJ. I'll have to look at my phone. Yeah, give me a minute. As for bourbons, I collect specific bottles, but I drink them. So none of my bottles are unopened unless they were gifts. It's weird when people buy me whiskey or bourbon, I just stick it on a shelf. I rarely ever actually try it. As cliche as it is, I'm a Buffalo Trace fan. So George T. Stagg is my favorite bourbon that we get. And if I see it on the shelf, I buy it. And I've spent way more than I should on those bottles. But at one point I had 8 of them. So I got to actually drink them. And I've got half a bottle left. Out
of the 8?
Out of the 8. I have 1 left.
Wow.
Yeah, I fucking went through those. And they're big bottles. I have the Blood Oath collection. The only one I don't have is number 8 because I was going to sell my whiskey collection. So I made her cancel that order for Christmas.
That was such a good gift. I would have nailed that.
Yeah, that would have been a good one. But the bottle was $500. It was an expensive ass gift, and I was thinking about selling my collection. It didn't make sense. There's a Russell Reserve that they make the it's a red label. Russell Reserve's Private Stock is probably my favorite budget bourbon because it's made by Wild Turkey. That's a really good whiskey. I don't know. I'd have to go look at my whiskey collection because the ones that I drink are almost empty. I have to, I see them in the wild. I'm like, oh, need that bottle. Oh, need that bottle. I do buy the hard to find stuff when I get it. Because we're in Florida, Sazerac is really hard to find here. But if you go to Tennessee, they're everywhere.
Yeah.
And to find a bottle of Buffalo Trace or to find a bottle of Blanton's in Florida on the shelf at retail is damn near impossible. But in Tennessee, sometimes you can find it for buy a bottle and then get it at retail. You can't do that here. It's a $130 bottle. People sell it for $250 here. It's fucking stupid the way that they do that with the Blantons.
Yeah.
I like bourbons. I'll drink whiskey though.
I like
Grand Marnier.
I do like Grand Marnier
a lot.
Yeah.
I bought that one. The first time I bought it, I bought the $300 bottle of it just so that you could try it because I know that I like Grand Marnier. And once you were like, oh my God, that's amazing. Every time we went and I saw an expensive Grand Marnier, I'd buy the bottle. And that was actually the last drink that I had before we went to the movie theaters. I broke my year sobriety when we went to the movie theaters. I had a drink while we were there, just to kind of relax.
I like coffee liquors.
Do you?
Yeah.
Hmm.
I like lavender lemon spritzes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, you do a lot of fruity drinks. I drink my whiskey straight.
Yeah.
Neat.
I like fruity drinks.
Neat, I guess they call it.
Dessert drinks. Jessica Brown, $13.99. Love your content. I just started watching the last few love language videos. I hope they are helpful.
Have you gotten into the other videos? Are you binging the other content?
You should be.
Yeah.
Kim Martin, $9.99.
Oh, she's stepping her game up.
Oh.
She was $1.99 on the last two.
Yeah. Peaches, can you give some advice on how to parent a child on the spectrum and being compassionate, but also not letting them use their diagnosis as a crutch? So I do a lot of self-regulating with our son. I don't know how old your child is, but our son's 5. And he is definitely short-tempered. When something doesn't go his way, he gets upset very quickly. He is a very well-mannered kid, but when he is in his feels, he is in his feels. So I do whatever he's screaming about, crying about, throwing a temper tantrum about. I do not converse in conversation until we are taking deep breaths together. So he'll be rambling and saying whatever he's trying to say and making the same point over and over again. And I'm just like, deep breaths. And I'm inhaling and I'm exhaling and I'm waiting for him to regulate with me. And once he gets those 3 or 4 deep breaths in, he is not,
right,
sniffling, crying, trying to catch his breath. And I'm like, okay, what are you feeling? And then he'll tell me how he's feeling. Be like, why do you feel this way? And he'll tell me what he's feeling and I will repeat it back to him. And he'll be like, yes. Be like, okay, so now what do we need to do to have this not happen again? Whether it be put crackers on a plate so he doesn't drop them, or have Sissy ask before she lays on his bed.
Yeah.
Whatever needs to be done. And I tell him all the time, I know you're smart. I know you're intelligent. When he has almost ADHD tendencies when it comes to paying attention with learning. And he'll play cute little games of mispronouncing things just to try to make me laugh. And in those moments, I'm like, this is not cute and this is not funny. Grace, oh. Son, damn it. I can't believe I just did that. Son, if you are doing this to be cute, it's not. We have to pay attention. We have to learn. If you want to be a smart, good man, we don't do this.
Right.
And it kind of reels him back in. I'm still trying to find different ways to get his attention back on all of that. But
yeah, when it comes to the schooling thing, I don't know.
Yeah.
But I noticed that with him, his growth comes in spurts. Not like his physical growth, but like his advancements in the way that he behaves.
mm-hmm.
He gets like 2 or 3 leaps ahead.
Yeah.
And then he sits stagnant for a little bit. And he gets 2 or 3 leaps ahead. And then he sits stagnant for a little bit. It's fucking weird the way that he learns
Mm-hmm.
things. He's learning right now. The big thing with him right now is learning that there's consequences for shit.
Yes.
And that we're not going to come and save the day every time he can't find his crackers. Like,
Mm-hmm.
and that was a very big thing last night, but you ended up finding him because he wasn't even willing to look. He
Yeah.
wanted you to come look. I think that was a request for connection,
Mm-hmm.
but he needs to self-soothe and figure his shit out.
Yeah. I would recommend, if you can't pay for, specialized classes or whatever needs to be done, YouTube it. How to handle spectrum temper tantrums, or how to gentle parent while still standing firm in boundaries or standards or whatever needs to be done. Apple Baby for $1.99. It says broke biatch, but it's a little B dash. That's cute. But I love you guys. Thanks so much. Austin Gatza, how can I send a story or receive advice from you guys? You email us, the number 2bebetterco@gmail.com.
And before you send that email, proofread your shit. Make sure that you don't have paragraphs of run-off sentences. Make sure that you're using periods and commas. And I had to add that to disclaimer because anyways, I have a couple that I want to read also.
Okay.
Because they've been sitting. Maria Campos, how would you handle postpartum depression when you want to be touched but not sexually?
So cuddles.
Yeah.
Being held on the couch. If the physical touch is too much, wrap yourself in a blanket and then have him hold you. Feet touches. Holding the feet massages. shoulder rubs, scalp massages.
It's crazy that that's where your brain went.
Why?
Because mine didn't register that at all as the question. You want to know where my brain went with that?
Where?
When you want to be touched but not sexually, and my brain that went from every time there's a touch initiated, it's with the hopes of sexual engagement.
Mm-hmm.
And that, it to me, is a killer of intimacy. If that's the only time you are engaging in physical contact with your person, that's a fucking problem.
That is a problem.
That our brains totally went. That rarely happens. Normally, we're very on the same page with the questions, and you went way over there, and I went way the fuck that way. That's wild.
And it's not a bad thing.
Not at all. It just, it doesn't happen very often. So I'm just like, wow, how did that happen? Anyways, Headless Mistress, who sends us money every single week.
Thank you.
Did not this time. She said no money this time. Hope
Gotcha.
hope they see this. You wouldn't have known if I hadn't told you. What is your opinion on that? And then he said, that's the separate thing. I guess it's two separate chats, but it looks like one to me.
Okay.
You wouldn't have known if I wouldn't have told you. What is your opinion on that?
What do you mean you wouldn't have known if I wouldn't have told you? Like a partner saying that?
That's just what she says in quotations. You wouldn't have known if I wouldn't have told you. What is your opinion on that? Need more info.
Yeah.
Okay. And then AJ said, this is from the chat earlier. Katrina Shields, check-in went amazing because we asked about that. We were both very open-minded and receptive to each other, to each other's feedback. I have a lot I'd like to say to you both, so I think I will be sending a thank you email.
Dope.
I fucking love that. We didn't end 21 with a thank you email like we were supposed to.
No, we did not.
Because by the time we were done, we were fucking done.
Yeah.
We do need to start ending with the thank you emails because at this point we're getting just as many thank you emails as we are actual emails, and I think that it ends the session on a positive.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Out of Days Productions, $2. Based, Christ is King.
I don't know. I don't understand what based means.
Factual.
I don't know.
That's my understanding.
Can we speak the King's English, please? Because I don't.
Danielle, $9.99. What's the funniest word either of you have messed up saying?
Well, we already know. Amaphon and been a fishbowl.
I would say mine is fillet.
Fillet.
When I said fillet, everybody in the restaurant thought I was stupid as shit.
Yeah. So I used to say, I have to actually make myself say it now, cement instead of cement. Because my family's Southern as fuck. And that's the way they always said cement. So that I said that until I was in my probably mid 20s. And somebody was like, did you just fucking say cement? I'm like, yeah, what's it called? Because like, you know, when you have an accent as a younger person, you're able to learn how to not talk like that.
Right.
But there are certain words that will always linger. And until somebody calls you on it, you don't realize you're doing it. And that was one of those words.
I also said helicopter for a while, so.
Oh, AJ sent me a thing of what based means.
Okay.
Based is a slang term originally meant to be addicted to crack or cocaine or acting like you were, but was reclaimed by rapper Lil B for being yourself and not caring what others think of you, to carry yourself with swagger. That is the dumbest fucking thing I've ever heard. Baseheads were crackheads. Like, so that made sense to me. I don't like, I'm old. Get off my fucking lawn.
You're hilarious. I don't understand current terminology.
Yeah.
So
I know that I'm
confusing.
old because I don't know who the rapper Lil B is.
I don't know who that is either.
Must not be very good.
Zeke sent $2 and asked, how can I best support the channel?
Oh, by subscribing to our Patreon, which has an amazing Discord, super chats, which go a long way. The best way is to share this. Get this content to as many people as you think will find value in it, because if you share it with 20 people and 10 of them subscribe, and out of that 10, 2 make it to Patreon, you just helped us out a whole lot. Lots of growth.
Lots of growth.
Yep. And if you want to go beyond that, there's also a donation button on the website. You can buy merch. You can tell your therapist about us.
A lot of people have been doing that.
And the therapists have been fucking backing us up.
Right. Mercy Chapman sent $1.99 and it says message retracted. So I'm going to need to know what that said. You can't unsend on me like that and not expect me to be like, okay, what was it?
How are you going to send a super chat but delete the chat? I didn't even know that was a thing.
T Dima, $5. What headphones do you guys use for the podcast?
These are the Bear Dynamic DT 1990 Pros. These are hands down the nicest headphones I've ever owned in my life.
Oh yeah.
I bought these for playing video games because if somebody was walking up on me because they're studio headphones, I wanted to be able to hear the footsteps. And I bought like a wireless microphone that I could Bluetooth stick to the side of this so that I could play when I was playing Rainbow Six with everyone. Thinking that it would somehow make me a better gamer. All it did was make me panic and shoot around everything and miss and still die.
That's hilarious.
Well, it is funny. I'm so
Oh
bad
my
at video
gosh.
games. The only time I enjoy video games is when I was smoking still.
Yeah.
Because I would either drink or I'd smoke, and Sean and I would be really dumb playing video games. But they're both Bear Dynamic 1990s. We both have them. We were using the Rhodes that came. Well, you were using the Rhodes that came with the original Rode mics we bought. But they're garbage headphones. We broke one of the pairs within like a week of having them. And I bought you this. I don't know what the other. I bought you a pair of Bear Dynamics, and they were hurting your ears. So I bought you another pair that I have, and I can actually hear the difference from headphones. Like these are the best headphones that we have out of everything, including the Bose and the Steel series that you have.
Yeah.
I love my headphones.
Me too. Sarah I, $1.99. I appreciate your reply to my thank you email. You're welcome. Thank you for the thank you email. Christopher Massey, $4.99. Any good restaurants in Juno Beach area you guys know of on a Saturday night? Keep it up. To Be Better Nation, Patreon.
Juno Beach.
I have no idea where that's at.
I believe that's on the other coast. I have to look now. Fucking AJ.
What?
Said talk about you getting emotional in Patreon only video, exclusive content. Why would I want to tell people to go log into Patreon to watch me cry, you dick?
Because that's what they want to see.
Nobody needs to see that. What a butthole. I need to see where Juno Beach is because now I need to know how far we are from there. Because we have people. Oh no. Yeah, it's over by Jupiter.
Oh, so like 4 hours.
Yeah, 3 from where we're at. I can't tell you about Juno Beach, but I can tell you that if you're over there and you want to see a dope fucking sunrise, go to there's an area that you can park at near Blowing Rocks Preserve, where you can walk to the beach and then walk to Blowing Rocks. It's like a 2-mile walk in the sand, but that's one of our favorite places to go take photos in the
We need
mornings.
an electric bike though.
Yeah. Danielle, what is your favorite moment of doing the podcast so far?
Ooh, favorite moment of doing the podcast so far. There's so many.
I have 2.
Okay, you go first.
The first live stream, because the overwhelming support.
Yeah.
Like we got off that live stream and I was blown away. And part of it's financial. I'm not going to lie. The fact that they supported us the way that we did, that was
insane.
It was fucking insane.
Yeah.
You know, when you go from like thinking that there's a potential to do something as a living and like actually make a job out of it, and then you make more in a night in like 3 hours than you would have made in a week of work.
Yeah.
It's fucking astonishing. So that was a big one for me. I guess there's 3 of them. The apology video that I did on New Year's Day, even though I was a sobbing mess the entire time, will always hold a place in my heart because it's helped a lot of people and I didn't think that it was going to do what it did. In our very first podcast.
Yeah.
The onesie thing and like us. Oh, there's 4, I guess. It's a onesie. You were so excited about that. Those are mine. What about you?
I would say the first podcast. I think something that I enjoy more than the first podcast was that night of us sitting, like me sitting next to you while you edited it.
Like afterwards, you mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was a moment for me. All of my stuff is more behind the scenes things.
Yeah.
Like walking through the Corkscrew Preserve the first time we went and being excited about the podcast actually getting momentum and realizing that this could actually be a thing.
Yeah. I mean, it counts. It's still podcast related.
That was a big moment for me. Getting recognized at Wicked.
That was dope. That's the top for me.
Yeah.
I take back everything I said. I forgot about that. That was a feeling that I'll never be able to replace because we were recognized in public and like a random person showed love.
Yeah.
Her name was Amber.
It was Amber.
I remember that. Like that was a dope fucking moment for me. Kim Martin said, AJ asked Chris if he says asphalt or asphalt for asphalt. It won't let me send another super chat to ask. I say asphalt. ASS, asphalt. Is that wrong? Now I need to know. Have I been saying asphalt wrong my whole life?
Asphalt.
How?
I don't know. Zeke sent $5 and said, "To be better nation," in the chat if you enjoy emotional Chris.
Oh man, please don't do that. I mean, fuck it. It's on there. It's on the internet. He just said, well, you just did it anyways. You just made it more intriguing. Ronnie Hollock, the fact that Patreon only video lead to a serious apology from me to my husband and deeper understanding of him, Chris, it was so impactful. I don't understand. Shauna Mueller, need to watch you cry? No. Want to watch you cry? Yes. Miracles do happen. Love y'all. No, it's asphalt. So I was right. It is asphalt.
Yeah.
I'm putting my phone down, AJ. I don't want to. I mean, I do want the conversation to continue, but I don't like holding my phone. I feel like I'm not paying attention or not engaged.
No. Anything else you want to talk about?
Not really. I'm actually kind of just enjoying vibing with these guys.
Yeah.
I definitely don't want to be on here super late tonight.
We still have to do dinner.
Yeah.
Unless you don't want to.
I mean, I could eat. I'm not like starving, but I could eat.
I can just make a shake.
Somebody ordered a t-shirt.
Ooh, t-shirts.
Love that. Yeah, I think with the podcast, you're right. A lot of the behind the scenes stuff was dope for me. Like us sharing our adventure to the Everglades.
Yeah.
Right, because like we just talked about it, and like people were super excited to see your alligator pictures, and like we got to share our lives with people who genuinely give a shit about what we're doing.
Yeah.
Here's a vulnerable moment. I realized that out of the 200 and something people that I have on my Facebook page, which are all people that I actually know in real life, I don't have anyone on Facebook that I don't actually know. Mm-hmm. None of them give a fuck about the podcast except for like 5 people.
Yeah.
And those 5 people are all people who are super close to me or people who have benefited from the podcast, but we don't ever engage about the podcast. I don't share about the podcast on there other than numbers here and there. Like there's not a lot of back and forth. The community that we have created with Discord and the love that we get about the things that we're doing and engaging in people's life, like the Monster Slayer and Sir Topher, we have created a group of people that I have always wanted to experience.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like when somebody says, hey, this happened, everybody's like, yo, it's so fucking dope. And like they hype each other up instead of creating an argument about it or not seeing it until 5 days later because of an algorithm. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. I really like that we have that community. And like when we went to see the cows in Tennessee, people were so fucking amped for you.
Yeah.
That love goes a long way. It feels very different than the bullshit that we're fed on social media. Mm-hmm. That sense of community is fucking dope for me.
It is. Purple XXDCXX sent $9.99. Do you have a book you recommend that isn't relationship based?
I have a bunch of them. What would you like to? Do you want to read like enjoyment reading?
Right. Are we doing like fictional?
Right, because I can fire off some books, or you could actually just somebody could post the book list. Zeke, hint, hint, nudge, nudge. But what are you talking like non-communication books? We have a lot of those. Do you want like things that can make you be a better man? It's things on leadership. Do you want something that's just a fun read? You want to read something that'll stress you the fuck out and make you hate technology? I can help you with that too.
Read something like 1984.
Yeah. Yep. You know that they pulled that from mandatory reading in schools. Yep. Life 3.0. That book changed the way that I view AI. made me actually fear technology. Well, while you're looking, he sent me one. I just closed my phone back out. Sydney Torres, I've been reading the book The Submissive Wife, which Peaches recommended, so The Surrendered Wife. And I genuinely feel like I'm becoming such a better wife. I just feel bad for putting my husband through so much. So the only thing that you can do about that is change.
Right.
Harboring that guilt of what was going into what will be is going to not serve you.
It's going to taint it.
Own that shit. There was a lot of shortcomings. I'm aware of those shortcomings, and moving better, I'm going to be the best version of me for you I can be, and I hope that you're willing to do the same thing. Mm-hmm. That's servitude. Tara Tuft, it's 2:21 a.m. here in Scandinavia. Can't sleep, gotta watch y'all.
Scandinavia. Yeah. I really need to get a map going.
We do. Yeah, we've had people all the way into Japan now, which is fucking wild.
They said fictional entertainment.
So I like the Ender's Game series. That was good. Mm-hmm. I enjoy the Ready Player One books were really good because Player 1 and 2. I enjoy that just because of my childhood, especially seeing it on the big screen. That was great for me. But the books are significantly different. Yeah, you get a different understanding of who Halliday was, which was nice.
I like the Divergent series.
I didn't read those.
No.
Nope. I enjoyed the movies. Well, I kind of enjoyed the movies.
Yeah.
What was the other one that I keep trying to?
Hunger Games?
No. The other one that's like the Divergent thing. It came out around the same time. It's like the Maze Runners.
Oh yeah.
I enjoyed that more.
What else do I like?
Game of Thrones. Love that.
Game of Thrones is good. I love Stephen King.
Yeah.
Yeah. Insomnia was a good book.
No, that's not the same one I was about to think it was.
Sam525 sent 99 cents and it says message retracted.
It's twice now.
I wonder why it does that.
Kirsten, I'm assuming it's supposed to be Kirsten Cush, said, see, my boyfriend constantly has an issue with me Adam Randing females on social media. I don't get it. It's been an issue for a while. My boyfriend constantly has an issue with him adding random. Okay, I read that wrong. I was like, why would he give a shit if you're adding girls?
So the problem is he's doing it?
Yeah. Random females on social media. I don't get it. It's been an issue for. I don't get it either.
I don't understand that mindset.
I don't understand adding people that you don't know.
Right.
Like, are you trying to spy for someone? Do you work for the government? Why are you trying to? My page is locked down. Like, you can't. Every once in a while, I'll make something public because somebody will ask me so they can share the shit. But I don't post to Facebook very much. Like, I used to post all the time. I try to avoid that shit now. If it wasn't for the businesses, I would delete my Facebook completely.
Yeah, I don't have my Facebook anymore. Yeah, adding people at random. Never mind, my thought's gone. Zeke sent $2. He said LOL troll, and then he fucking retracted it. I'm glad I caught it before he did that.
That's funny. Katie646 says, can your primary love language change? And is it normal? I used to crave physical touch, but now it's not my favorite, and I prefer affirmations. Is that a thing? I would think so.
Yeah, I would think it would change, especially as you grow as a person.
Yeah. Here's a thought, right? So they say that your taste buds change every 7 years. So like you could develop new flavors and new taste. I understand that could actually be a thing in your mouth.
Yeah.
But I think that it's one of those things that as you grow, your body just changes. The things that inspire you and like you're willing to try more things and like you change. You become more mature, more passive, whatever the case may be. So the idea of your love language changing, I absolutely believe that to be the case.
Yeah, I would say that mine used to be physical touch, but now it's quality time.
Yeah. Well, you get all the love languages.
Right.
Because I'm the fucking man.
The one I cherish the most, though, is the quality time.
Yeah, it's my favorite too.
I like the memories we make.
Me too. You know, and I have to. I'm trying to make it a goal as we're doing our little adventures to take pictures of us because we don't selfie.
We really don't.
So like,
I realized the other day, like I really have no photos of us in our phone because we just live in the moment.
The last photo I think that we took together was at Wicked. No, we took one in the car. A couple of them in the car.
No, it was Wicked.
We took one in the car when AJ was down.
Did we? Oh,
Yeah.
we did.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But we don't selfie like that. Like our lives are our lives, so we don't. It's not about sharing it to the internet. So I don't think that. I'm going to go into something else about selfie thing while I'm thinking about it. But I do want to take those pictures because I want to be able to remember those times. All the pictures that we have of ourselves are like almost spicy. You know what I mean? Like, anyways.
Yeah.
Here's a thought for all of you selfiers out there. If you take selfies on a regular basis, by definition, the vanity that you're putting out onto the internet makes you a narcissist.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm going to let that simmer.
Yeah, me too. Simmer. Simmer down now.
So Mercy Chapman resent her retracted message and said, "My boyfriend and I are 16 and 17, and your content has helped us continue to grow and learn together. Thank you so much."
Well, you're the first 16 and 18-year-old. Is that what you said? 17-year-old that I'm going to say you're welcome to. Because normally when people send shit that's young like that, we don't read it.
I'm glad we're affecting the youth.
Me too.
Affecting the youth, not effecting. That warms my heart.
Yeah.
Yeah. That makes me happy. Danielle, $1.99. I hate that you did this to me. When he was a young warthog.
When he was a young warthog.
She knew it. She knew you would do that.
Probably.
That's hilarious.
And perform, monkey.
Lily sent $1. Crazy.
Yep.
What do you want to do for dinner?
I'm not super hungry.
Okay. Do you guys like my new house slippers? Very excited about them. I've never had house slippers before this. What was that massive nasal exhale?
I'm checking to see how many people are still watching.
We are at 294.
Yeah.
Chad Bullard, $2. Love the channel. I've watched everything. That's massively impressive to me.
It is. And
We
that's
have a
super
lot of
dope.
content.
Yeah. What kind of content would you guys like to see coming from us? There's about 300 people watching right now.
Mm-hmm.
So like give us some updates.
What?
Somebody said, to quote Maynard Keenan of Tool, "You can't fully experience things if you are attached to a screen. Unplug and enjoy the time while you have it." What was it? I keep wanting to say Tim Leary, but that's not his name. The dude the big guy from the 60s that was prevalent with LSD. He used to always say, unplug. What the fuck was it? Unplug, tune in, and zone out, or some shit like that.
I don't know.
It's been a while since I've read those books.
So Zeke sent $2 and said, "Under the sea, under the sea."
Don't know that one. Oh, wait.
Under the sea.
Yep. That was the
Little Mermaid.
Yep. Samantha Villabo said, "Congratulations to you both for that. Realistic expectations at a young age paved the way for true intentional dating." That's right.
Mm-hmm.
Lily said, "I love your content. I am a counseling intern and my significant other is currently supporting me while I am pursuing my degree. We have a traditional relationship and your content helps us communicate." That's fucking dope.
Mm-hmm. Danielle sent $1.99. POV of Peach's thoughts narrated by Chris.
How would we do that?
I don't know.
I don't know how we would do that.
I don't think you could ever replicate my thoughts.
I don't think so.
I'm a very unpredictable, sporadic person. I like to think I am. Do you think I'm predictable?
I myself am strange and unusual. Where'd that come from?
Beetlejuice.
Ooh, don't say it anymore. That's it. Once is enough. Don't do it. At least you've seen that one.
I have. I love Beetlejuice.
It's twice.
It is twice. When will the third time be? Who knows?
All right, guys, we're getting ready to wrap it up. So if you have any other questions, get them in. If you got any more super chats you want to get them in. Kim Martin, nutrition, fitness, unboxing of gifts from P.O. Box, parenting, and addiction recovery. I'm not going to ever touch addiction. That's not something that I have enough information on other than my own experiences that I don't want to get into any of that and potentially ruin someone's life.
Yeah.
The gift unboxing, we kind of do that now. We open them on lives, or we open them and put them in Discord. If we were starting to get regular gifts on getting gifts on a regular basis in the PO box, we would absolutely do unboxings like that. I think that would be super dope.
Yeah.
The nutrition thing, I think that we're both going to get into that in the men and women's group that we're doing, but I don't want to be a fitness influencer. So the idea of making nutrition content,
yeah. Ooh, we just got a bunch of super chats.
Okay.
Amber Burns, $2, stoked for the women's group, June 1st. I am also very stoked about that. I bought a planner and I messed up, and it starts on July of 2023, not June of 2023. So I am going to have to makeshift the first month of planning because I can't read. Theory Man Dan, $50. I said, if you never found out, it wouldn't have hurt. We were talking yesterday about eating better, and I broke it by eating out twice in one day. I told her about it because I was disappointed in myself. And that's where my mind went to during the convo.
What?
Nothing. I got excited because of something, but I just totally skipped over that super chat.
Can you read that one more time? Because
Yes.
I need to address that.
I said, if you never found out, it wouldn't have hurt. We were talking yesterday about eating better, and I broke it by eating out twice in one day. I told her about it because I was disappointed in myself, and that's where my mind went during the convo.
So one, you're taking accountability, and you're taking extreme accountability by involving somebody that cares about you, that can help keep you on track, that's healthy.
It is.
And you are doing so in a way that is going to promote growth in your home. And being that you're going to be part of the men's group, you fucking need to do better. Like this starts on the 1st of the month. This starts in like 3 days.
Yeah.
And when this starts, that all of that shit goes down the drain. So if you want to get that out of your system, get it out of your system. But when we start on May 1st, that shit's got to stop, dude. Like we have fucking goals that we're trying to meet.
Yeah.
And like, you're obligated at this point. You've paid for the course, and like you're really trying to better your life. And if you have to rely on the other men in the group, and you've got to rely on the people that are around you and on your woman, then fucking that's what needs to happen.
Yep.
I lean on you hard.
Yeah.
I'm not ashamed of that. You hold me accountable in ways that others can't, because I don't want to let you down. It's one thing to disappoint yourself, like, man, I want a donut. And you have one, you're like, fuck, I really shouldn't have ate that. But it's a different scenario when you have to tell your partner when you guys are on a diet, like, damn, I ate a donut today. I mean, really, I can't fucking believe you did that. Like, you know what I mean? Like that disappointment coming from another person, I think means more.
I agree. I'm starting, even though the women's group starts on June 1st, I'm starting hardcore on May 1st.
Yeah. We're doing it together.
Getting on board together. Yeah. I've decided to stick with the vegetarian thing. Meat is just, my autism's flaring.
Yeah.
So I found a bunch of recipes. We're going to have to sit down and figure out like a weekly budget for me to spend groceries. 'Cause I'm going to have to go to the store at least every other day to get the things I need to make my meals. Yeah.
Yeah. It's weird the way that we eat, because when I diet, I go almost pure carnivore.
Yeah.
Like I do have fruits and vegetables to an extent, but like I don't like militant. I don't Jordan B. Peterson my fucking diet, but I do eat 90% meat with a little bit of fats and carbs. But
Zeke sent $2. Beetlejuice.
fucker.
That was the third one.
Oh man.
I like it when people join in on my shenanigans.
Yeah.
It makes me feel good. Alexis, Elise, Lagranant. Oh, I'm fixating. I need to move on. I lost 120 pounds and finally feel comfortable enough to take selfies for the first time in years. Is that still narcissistic? I mean, possibly, but I feel like it's needed for myself now.
No, it's not needed. It's a decision. It's not a need. It's a want. You're proud of yourself, right?
Right.
And you want to show that off, and you want to get the validation of your hard work, and you want people to see the fruits of your labor. All of that, by definition, is narcissism. So for those of you who don't know, I fucking hate that word. I hate it with a passion. It makes me throw up in my mouth every time I say it, because people have this negative connotation of what narcissism is. Narcissism is a survival technique. It basically just means that you're selfish and looking out for yourself. If you get hungry and your stomach growls and you go, oh, fuck, I need to eat, you are thinking solely about yourself in that moment. And you get food, you are feeding your narcissism. It's not a bad thing. Being a narcissist can keep you alive. When it gets to extremes, anything at an extreme is bad for you.
Right.
So by definition, yes, it is narcissism. You are filling your vanity. You want the world to be as proud of you as you are.
Yeah.
You don't have to take it as a negative. That's society telling you that narcissist is a dirty word. That's why I hate it so much, because it has been adapted to become some fucking buzzword where everything is evil that revolves around narcissism.
Right. Great Wolf Tactical sent $10 and said men's group starts May 1st.
I love that, dude. So for those of you who don't know, we are doing men and women's groups on Discord. The first group is full on both of ours. And depending on how the first 2 months go, we may open up to a larger group the second go around. But we are doing, and we're not even in each other's groups. Like I had the men group open earlier and you walked over and you're like, oh, you're in the men group, and you turned around and walked away.
I did.
And like, I didn't have to say anything. And that was like a really big moment for me. I was like, damn, she's really respecting what I'm doing.
Yeah.
And even though we are the owners of Discord, I've never gone into the women's group. Never once opened that group. There's nothing in there for me. That's supposed to be a woman's scenario, just like the men's is.
There was one time like I was scrolling through the side chats and I accidentally clicked into the men's group and I was like, oh my God, I can be in here. And I was like, I can't be in here. And I backed out real quick. I didn't like scroll or anything. I was like, I'm not supposed to be here.
Yeah. But so for example, just to give you guys, and I love that you did that. I appreciate that you did that.
Yeah.
Yeah. The fact that we, so one of the things that we're doing with the men's group is like Dakota, Great Wolf Tactical, who actually, I really respect you as a person for what that's worth.
He does.
He helped me create a questionnaire based off some of the things that I wanted to ask and some of the things that he thought was prevalent to the men's group. And I asked like, what are your 6 core values, your most important 6 core values? What are your non-negotiables? What are some of the goals that you want to hit? So with the men's group, the first week, I want to break down the top 3 core values, because I think those are going to be your most prevalent in like who you are as a person. I want to talk about the non-negotiables, and I want to talk about a 1-year plan and how those 3 things all work in cohesion to achieve goals. Right. And though that's not like, that's part of what I want to do. We're doing fitness challenges where we have book assignments where we're talking about books and chapters of books and things like that. And this could be one of those things that ends up being super like beneficial for everyone in the group. And it may be one of those things that just flops. I don't know. I like that there are a group of people now that I'm invested with in doing things. And I feel like, in all honesty, it's going to make all of us grow, because somebody's going to read a book and take something different from it than I did. What was it that they said in Ready Player One? It was actually a quote from another thing, but they said that some people can read War and Peace and think that it's just a basic adventure novel, and somebody else could read the back of a shampoo bottle and think that it unlocks the mysteries of the universe or some shit.
I have no idea.
Anyways, people get different things from different people, and like you get different mindsets and different perspectives, and like the way that I see the world and the way that the other 11 people in that group see the world is very different. And I say it 11 because AJ's in there with me, so like we are part of that group, even though there's 10 men that are, so it's technically 12 of us, 2 teams of 6. I don't know. I think it's super dope. You want to talk about the women's group at all, or you want to just move on? Because you got a lot more going than I do.
Oh my gosh. I'm still figuring things out. I'm working on a questionnaire that I'm going to send out to all of the women once we start on June 1st. And I'm going to have them answer that again after the first 4 weeks, and they're going to answer it again after the 8 weeks. That is going to be progress points.
Yeah, a way to measure your metrics.
Right. We are going to be doing time management as one of the main focuses. So I'm thinking first week is going to be focusing on time management. And there's going to be daily things to focus on. So outside of figuring out your scheduling and when to work and self-care and all of that, you're going to have a daily task of monitoring your frustration, recognizing things that trigger your frustration, how we're going to overcome those things to be a better version of you, as an example for a daily goal. The first month is going to be, I'm thinking of having the first month every week going to correlate to one main core. Something, I haven't figured that out yet.
Have you figured out how often you're going to do the live chats? Because I think I'm going to end up doing mine weekly.
Mine are going to be weekly as well. Yeah.
They another thing that we're doing in there. Are you doing anything for self care?
Yes.
Okay, because we did, instead of doing self care, like I'm going to prescribe like specific types of dates every week. But there are men in there who are single, and I think that for the men who are single, like they need to do an hour of self care of some sort.
Right.
And I was talking to Dakota about that earlier because he was like, I think they should go to the gun range or like do something that is a hobby. And I was like, I was thinking hobbies too. But I also realized that if I had 2 hours of my life where I had nothing to do, I would probably go bottle hunting.
Yeah.
Like I'd go to Fort Myers or I'd go to Sarasota, somewhere other than where I live, to look for, bottles, the unicorns in the wild, to throw on my whiskey shelf. Because that's exciting for me and it gives me time to just decompress. And obviously if I'm driving, I can't text message. I'm not scrolling TikTok. Like it gives me 2 hours away from the world and just lets me decompress. I really want to buy that other camera. I know that's very random, but
We have more super chats.
okay.
Melissa Lamindola,
Okay.
$9.99. Do you have any advice for starting a business? I am working really hard to be able to follow my passions in life.
Yeah, I have a lot of advice. Tell me what you're doing and I'll tell you how I'll do it. How about that?
So send an email?
No, just in the
Okay.
chat. Just hit us with what it is that you're trying to open and I would tell you how I would go about doing it.
Oh no, Jenna. I'm going to be honest. I practice your last name often in my mind because I don't think I will ever pronounce this right. And I'm like, if she ever sends like a super chat, if I ever have to say her name on a live chat, I'm not going to. And now it's happening. The situation I've overthought is actually happening in real life and I'm panicking a little bit. Ardito, 550. If you look at something, your tongue knows what it feels like. What? If you look at something, your tongue knows what it feels like. Shirt, yep. Leather, yep. Try it. Sorry in advance.
I don't think that's a thing for me.
It's a thing for me.
Is it?
I'm thinking about basketball shorts and I know the texture of basketball shorts on my tongue. And I'm thinking of like a woolly sweater and I know the feeling of a woolly sweater. Oh my God. That's a thing for me. A plastic cup. A red Solo cup. Cotton swab.
My boys.
It fucking works.
That's so funny.
Wow.
Somebody said, really enjoy the emails, but honestly, hearing y'all go back and forth and y'all's mindset is always challenging me, and also sick to hear people with similar mindsets. Crystal D. Hilt said, would be great to have content and geared towards those of us that are beginning our journey with creating this type of life and what those changes look like from the beginning. Huh. We have more supers?
Yes.
Okay, sorry.
Alexis again. Wow, completely shifted my mindset on narcissism. Thank you.
You're welcome. Perception's reality.
Yes.
The way that you view things and your attitude towards the universe will absolutely dictate your fucking life.
Yeah. Kim Martin, $4.99. I'm waiting for a spot to open up so I can join the women's group. I'm pretty excited.
Kim, are you in Discord?
So the women's group, I probably have the next 10 months filled.
That's insane.
If I do 2 months every time, the next 10 months are filled.
You are so much more important than I am.
That actually is crazy to think about.
Yeah.
So I have the first 3 groups figured out. I'm honestly probably just going to do this group and honor the second group of the first come, first serve because they came in and popped in and said I'm in. After that, I am going to make an announcement and it's going to be first come, first serve. I'm not keeping track of people who are saying I'm in. I want to be a part of this. Sign me up. When I announce it, you're going to have to go to wherever I say you have to go to pay for your slot. And then once it's filled, it's filled. Because that is too much for me to keep track of with everything else I got going on.
Do you think, hypothetically, do you think
Yes.
that it would be possible for you to do the first 2 months of the women's group and then the people who excelled in that group that really wanted to be a part of it again would be able to be a part of the next 2 months for free if they acted as team leads to help the group if you opened up to more people?
I would have to put thought process into that because I would have to figure out what I am comfortable with delegating to them
Right.
and trusting them in doing.
Yeah.
I am open to the idea. I would just have to figure out how to make that work.
You know that would work. You would be building a very big community with structure if you did that. Just something to think about. I mean,
I know it's just it's a lot for me to think about.
It is a lot.
And I wouldn't even know where to begin with that thought process.
I've thought about that a lot today because the men that I have in my group, I feel like the ones who have already joined are already leader based and all have very specific sets of talents. And I think that, I don't know, I think that this is something that could do very well and like could actually change people's lives long term. But it is a lot. It's a very heavy thing to think about.
And I never thought that would be here. These are things I've never put thought into before in my life.
Right.
We're really receiving a lot of shirt.
Yeah, that was a
purchases.
shirt order. You know, we also, when we started this, we wanted to coach.
Yeah, we did life coaching.
And like, I still would like to do that, but I think the group is the way to do it because it's more hands-on and it's more opinions. You know what I mean? And it's not an echo chamber. People have variants of ideas and it's like a group.
You want to know what I've thought about? I agree with that. I think that is definitely one way to do it. I have thought about doing you and I combined 1 month coaching with couples.
Yeah.
So once a week we would do a video chat, figure out what the main issue is and give them listen to how they discuss it. Interject, be like, okay, this is where I think it might be misconstrued or there's a misunderstanding. Let's clarify this.
Right.
And then give them things to work on throughout the week. And at the end of that 1 month period, see how that conflict resolution worked for them.
Yeah, I've actually thought about that too. My only fear in that is that those calls are going to degrade into them trying to be buddy and like just have that cool conversation with us instead of working on their shit.
Then there would be a one-time conversation of this is not a hangout session.
Right.
This is a paid therapy session.
Right.
For progress, this is going to be the one warning. If it happens again, we are going to boot you from the program or we'll accept another couple.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree with that.
Super chat from Jason Luquez. $10. Just started watching and I have realized I want to be like Chris and be a better man, and I hope one day to find myself a wonderful woman like Peaches. You two are perfect for each other.
I agree.
That makes me happy.
Yeah, me too. It blows my mind when people say that they want to be like me.
Me too.
We just got a new patron.
Or that they want to have a relationship like ours. That's just crazy. It makes me feel good.
The relationship like ours, I get.
Yeah.
I do. I get that because people see what we have and they actually see it. You know what I mean? Like people will be like, you can see the way they love each other, the way that they look at each other and shit. Like I get that. I think the reason that I get hung up on the people wanting to be like me is because I know how fucking much shit I had to go through to get to where I am. And I wouldn't wish that on anyone. Yeah. If you could get to where I am without all the struggles, dude, I'd love that for you.
That would be dope.
But I would hate for you to have to go through the shit that I went through to get to where I am. And if I would have had a mentor, I would have been able to bypass a lot. I just didn't have that shit growing up. So I had to learn a lot of the hard lessons the hard way.
Pay attention to other people's mistakes.
Yep.
Melissa sent another $4.99 and said, you pronounced my last name right.
Or wait. Which one was that?
Lamandola.
Oh, dope. Go you.
Most people don't. That's crazy that I can pronounce people's last names perfectly. Great. I can't.
That one anyways.
Well, that one, right. She said, but I want to open my own dessert shop. I would 100% buy desserts from that because when I first saw her name, I thought it said Lemon Dola. And I was like, I love lemon meringue pie.
So wait a minute. Like a bakery? What is a dessert shop? Is that the difference of a bakery?
Is it all encompassing desserts?
Yeah. So in that aspect, because that's food oriented, I don't know what would go involved in the kitchen of that. Do you have a degree? Like, are you a baker? Is that a thing for you, or are you self-taught? Like, so if I was going to open a business that way, let's say that I had a limited resources, right? Less than 10 grand. I would create a Facebook page or an Instagram account. I would take $2,000 immediately and set it aside for marketing. I would go and spend $1,000 on everything that I need to bake in the house. And then I would do Facebook marketing, Instagram marketing, and I would start making products on a limited basis and taking orders and do like daily, this is what will be made tomorrow for a menu, post it up on Facebook or Instagram, take the pre-orders, make it that night, next morning, take it to where people are working, do all the deliveries, drop it off. I would take every dime that I made in profit and I would set it aside. This would all be a cash thing so that you're not, you know what I mean? Like this needs to be a you thing.
Right.
So that you can stack as much paper as you can until you can find a location. If you do this for a year or 2 years before you get a location, you're going to have a huge fucking client base by the time you open a storefront. But the storefront is going to depend on what you need in terms of a kitchen.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know how that works because I don't know the baking aspect and that aspect.
Foot traffic's also important.
Right. Well, and absolutely. But you could also get into the point where you're doing DoorDash because for me, like if there was a place that just did desserts on DoorDash on nights that you eat like your concentrate and get super baked, we want desserts.
Oh yeah.
You know what I mean? Like that's a thing. That's where I would start. We got another patron.
That's crazy. We have a lot of super chats to get through.
Okay, that's fine. I'm enjoying this. So
me too. Anthony Wright, $10. If I send an email in for advice, do you reply with an episode number or title so I can make sure to watch it for the reply? We do.
You do.
I do. Yes, I will typically sit here after we finish discussing your email, type it out, and he has to cut it.
Yep.
Because if I don't do it in the moment, I won't.
Mm-hmm. Pause. Just because you guys send an email, though, does not mean it's going to get read.
Correct.
If you send something that's heavy with domestic violence, SA,
child abuse,
or addiction, things that are heavy on like unaliving yourself, we're not answering that shit. When you guys send those emails, you have to keep in mind that you're sending all of your problems and you're dumping that on two people who are reading multiple emails a day and trying to filter through life, and it gets very emotionally charged for us. And a lot of those emails are going to get a generic reply with like a domestic violence helpline phone number. We're not reading those on the air. Yeah. And if you send an email that's a long run-on sentence paragraph with no grammar or punctuation, we're not answering that. And if you send an email that's like, my boyfriend cheated on me, what do I do? We're not answering that. You need to send something that's heavily detailed so that we can understand what's going on. And you need to try to put yourself in your partner's shoes. And then proofread the fucking thing before you hit submit.
Correct.
Or send. Whatever it is, it's there.
J. Ari 999. My husband and I are 11 years apart and are constantly ridiculed for our age gap, especially by his ex and her boyfriend.
So?
How would y'all handle this? Love your content and plan on joining Patreon soon.
Why does his ex's opinion of what you're doing matter? Why does it? I mean,
why is he talking to his ex? Like, are there children involved?
Right. And even so, if she's disrespecting you, why is he tolerating that?
How would I handle that?
I'm gonna get another soda.
Okay.
Do you need one?
I really want an energy drink, but I'm gonna say no to both.
Yeah. Well, I definitely don't want you to be up all night.
But I do want dinner. Okay. I would handle that. If there were no children involved, I honestly wouldn't be talking to my ex, especially about what the ongoings in my relationship are. If there are children involved, still, the conversation of relationship should not come up. Danielle, 199, you miss 100% of the opportunities you don't take.
Yep, I agree with that too. I would rather attempt something and live with the realization that I was unable to accomplish what I set out to accomplish than to live with did I give it everything I fucking had? Mm-hmm. That fear of what didn't I do as I get older? Yeah. I'm good on that. I don't want regrets like that.
Right. Me too.
I want to go back to that last super chat that I heard when I was going in there that you were reading. The age one.
The age gap.
There's a 10-year age gap between us. Mm-hmm. The only time it ever bothers me is if somebody points out how old I look, and that's more of it because I know that I look old and you don't. Yeah. Like, you look like you're in your very early 20s, and I've been told I look like I'm in my 70s at some point. And I know that it's just trolls being dicks. Right. And in that aspect, it affects me because, like, I know that you're not that young. But I think the issue that I have in that scenario is that most of the people that view it in a way that is a negative because of the manipulation aspect. Mm-hmm. But if the age difference was reversed and you were 10 years older than me mm-hmm. and you were a cougar.
Good for you, girl.
That's exactly fucking right. So
look at you landing that young man.
Yeah. So all those people with opinions like assholes. Everybody has one and they all stink. Yeah.
I am probably also going to butcher this name. Shanezka. I really hope I nailed that. What exactly are the groups? What would we do if we joined? So I feel like we just explained a lot of that.
I think we did too. You can probably skip that one.
Zeke, $2. He who finds a wife.
Finds a good thing. Mm. Yes, sir.
Amen.
Not he who finds a girlfriend that courts for a little while and slowly becomes a wife. That is not how that works.
Jason again for $5. Been through a lot already, 2 divorces, and one had a 4-year affair on their part, and it destroyed me.
Yeah.
People can really be scumbags.
That's not a reflection of you, though.
It's not.
And I know that it's hard. I know that it's hard in those moments to be like, what did I fucking do? Take that accountability. There's things that you could have done to be better in that scenario that may have stopped that infidelity from happening. But people that do that, that is a flaw within them. It has nothing to do with you.
Right.
And you have to understand that. You can take accountability without taking the blame.
Right.
There's a
like
fucking
recognizing red flags.
Yeah.
But overlooking them anyway. Yeah. That's an accountability.
Zeke, I heard something the other day that said that nowhere in the Bible does it say a woman finds a husband. That a husband does not become a husband until he finds the wife. Mm-hmm. If you can find that scripture, send that in. I don't remember where that came from or why that's even prevalent, but because of what he just said, that's very much a thought process for me right now.
Kasten, $4.99. Y'all are amazing. I love watching you, and I share your videos with everyone, especially those who need to hear the things y'all say.
I love that.
I hope some of them get spicy about it.
That's how we grow, man.
It is.
I swear that's how we grow. I love the super chats, and I love the Discord and Patreon.
Sharing it, though,
but
is...
when somebody goes, hey, I just saw one of your videos on my Snapchat story from somebody that's in Washington.
That does it for me.
Yeah, because that means they're sharing our shit. Mm-hmm. You got a message from somebody that you haven't seen since middle school. It was like, hey, I just saw your podcast.
Yeah.
Like somebody else that they knew shared it.
Yep.
That's gangster.
Christy, $4.99. Just so you guys know, you have helped me dive much deeper into my faith and doing the work internally on myself. Thank you for being great mentors.
I love that. Those who need to hear this message will hear it.
Correct.
And they'll hear it when they need to hear it.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Great Wolf Tactical, $2. Check into the cottage food laws for your state.
For the bakery. Yep. Absolutely. Absolutely. I didn't even think about that. Good call. He also he sent me a text message and said, you look really, I hope I look that good when I'm 72.
J. Ari, $4.99. We have 3 daughters, my stepdaughters, and unfortunately, they're the ones who tell us these things from their mother.
That's fucked up.
That is very fucked up.
That the idea of bringing a child into conflict between two parents will fundamentally change that child's perspective of what relationships and adulthood will look like. And that will make them become a very vindictive person as they grow up.
Correct.
That is fucking toxic behavior, and you're a horrible fucking parent. Mm-hmm. Not them, but the one
right,
that's
the one
spreading
who's
that
doing
shit.
that.
Unfucking real, man.
Absolutely disgusting.
I'm so glad that we don't have to deal with that shit.
Me too, man. Me too. KG Ernest, 1999. 3 weeks ago, I was in a suicidal state, so I wanted to delete all my social media, and I clicked on TikTok. And the first thing on my FYP was, Dear Chris and Peaches, I'm stuck between a rock and a hard place, and it saved a life.
That was, what? Was that the snakeskin video?
I think so.
Wow. You know, at one point, I said that if anybody that's ever feeling like that and need to talk, to reach out to me, right? And I meant it. And then I started getting emails where people were trying to get me to fix whatever's going on with them. And when I said that I want to hear about your shit, I don't mean that I can fix you.
Right.
I mean that if you're really going through that and you need someone to talk to, I'll listen. I'm not going to try to fix it. I'm not going to try to offer advice. I will read the shit that you send and I'll be there for you if I can. Mm-hmm. But like when people are going through that, there's a difference from having somebody just a shoulder to cry on versus reaching out for someone expecting them to fix your problems.
Right.
So I love that happened because
me too.
That's life-changing shit. And I hope that that's now had them delve into our content.
Yeah.
And has gained some kind of self-worth, because that self-worth and knowing your self-worth will eliminate the need to control, alt-delete yourself.
Right. That makes me emotional. I don't know how to respond to that.
Yeah.
I'm glad you're still here.
Yep, me too. What if you have something important to do in life? Right? Like what if God has chosen that you are the one that's going to cure cancer one day, or that you're going to, figure out something that's going to actually change the world? Is that likely? I mean, how many of us go and live our lives and are never remembered? Most of us.
Oh yeah, majority.
But that doesn't mean that it couldn't be you.
Right.
You know what I mean? And if you remove yourself from existence, that may be the end of the world. You know what I mean? Like
you could be altering the course of history.
Yep.
Barbie $4.99. My fiance and I just got our LLC for pasta food truck. You guys continued to pasta food truck.
I'm a fucking food truck fanatic.
I fucking love pasta.
Yeah.
If there was a pasta food truck, I would be probably 400 pounds.
Yeah.
I have such bad moderation when it comes to carbs.
I have a friend of mine that has a barbecue truck. He's somebody that I met when I was working at a tattoo shop in another city like 20 years ago. And he came in to get a logo designed for his street bike club. They did like crotch rockets, so it wasn't like a MC kind of thing. And one of the tattoo artists that were there ripped an outlaw logo and changed it just a little bit. And these guys did all their shit with it, and like they got fucking stopped. It was like, you need to remove all that shit by an actual outlaw MC. Anyways, long story short, he's a garbage man. He was somebody that I rode motorcycles with for a long time. And for the longest time, he would do my meal prep. Every time I would diet, I would call him and be like, this is what I need. And he would grill it up because that was his passion. And every time I made a move, he saw it. And one day he was like, all right, bro, here's what I think I'm about to do. He's like, I finally saved enough money. My credit score is good enough. I'm looking at this trailer. And he wanted to buy a food truck trailer. So it was like he had his normal pickup truck and then a giant, you know who I'm talking about.
Yeah.
And he was like, I want to do this. I'm like, okay, so what do you need from me? And he's like, I just want, what do you think? And I'm like, well, I mean, I'll invest. What do you need? 20, 30 grand? Like, how much is a trailer? I'll loan you the money and you can just pay me a percentage. And we talked about it a little bit. And he's like, I really want to do this on my own. I'm like, dude, I fucking love this. So what do you need to do? And like, I gave him a little bit of advice. And within 2 months, he had that trailer and he's got a successful barbecue truck business.
Yeah.
And it literally came from him making my food and seeing all the moves that I was making in life and realizing that like he could do it.
Yeah.
And when he told me that the things that I've done has inspired him to want to do the business shit that he's doing, that is a huge fucking like pat on the back for me, because I'm doing what I need to do to survive. And if I'm motivating people in the process, that's fucking gangster.
It is.
But his food is amazing. His pulled pork mac and cheese with jalapenos.
Oh my God.
Love that shit.
Sarah Sanford, $9.99. Love you guys. How do you regulate your own responses and reactions better when your partner, 1, doesn't try to communicate back, or 2, purposely tries to make it difficult to be peaceable?
I don't know. We don't do that to each other.
We don't do that to each other. I wouldn't be with somebody like that. If I try to have conversations, and every time I try to have a conversation that is calm and regulated, and they either shut down the conversation or they purposely try to be difficult.
Yeah.
No, thank you.
Well, that's a nonverbal communication that lets you know that you don't matter.
Right.
Yeah.
How
would you deal with that though? What if they're married? What if that's something that didn't start until recently? What if
I would try to find the root of why it's happening then.
Right.
Like
yeah.
I've noticed.
Yeah, because there would have to be something that
I would notice every time that we go to have a conversation, you get super defensive or you start mocking me. Why?
Yeah.
Why do you feel the need to do that? Because you know that's not productive.
When you hit people with logic like that, it really changes the narrative of the conversation, because you're calling them on their immaturity before they have an opportunity to act on it.
Right.
In a scenario where that's actually something that happens every time, if you just go, look, I need to talk to you and I just need you to hear me. I don't need you to rebuttal. I don't want your opinion. I don't want you to come back with any kind of nonsense. I just need you to hear what I'm about to say, and I need you to ingest it and process it for a couple of days so you can understand what the fuck I'm going through, and we can move forward. Because at that point, you're basically giving them, fuck you, shut the fuck up. You're going to listen to me, and we're not going to have this discussion anymore,
Right.
but in a polite way.
Per my last email.
Yeah. Yes.
Kasten, $1.99. Here's another one just to show support.
Nice.
Thank you. Tasha said it was Proverbs 18:22.
Okay.
Pink Punk Trash, $9.99. Couldn't think of 2 better people to sit and watch at 2 a.m. here in the UK. So glad I found you a few months back. Opened my eyes up to the disrespect I was living with my now ex-boyfriend. Thank you so much. I'm glad you found your self-worth. And I'm glad that you stayed up until 2 a.m. to watch this. That's crazy.
Right.
Melissa, once again, $4.99. Also, I'm in Vegas, so if y'all ever come out and visit, I would love to meet you guys.
I fucking love Vegas. Real shit. Top 3 places in America for me to visit. Whitefish, Montana, because you can hit all of Montana in like a day. No matter where you go, you can get to anywhere in a day. And if you go to Yellowstone from Whitefish, it's a 6-hour drive. You can stay the night in Yellowstone, hit Wyoming and the areas around it, which is beautiful. Big sky country. Love everything about that. I've never seen anything more beautiful than the state of Montana, ever. Vegas, because from Vegas, you can use that as a base camp. And within 5 hours around, you could go to California. You can go to Death Valley. You can fucking go to ghost towns. You can go to Lake Mead.
I want to go to Death Valley.
You can go to Reno. Like, you can do a lot. Lake Tahoe, like all of that shit is super close to Vegas. So Vegas makes a super dope base camp, and you can stay in a casino and gamble when you don't feel like traveling. And like realistically, you could never leave the casino and see Vegas. Like that's gangster. And then obviously, I'm a big fan of Hawaii, but I like mountains.
Yeah.
Yep.
Christy J 499. Got to hear from my deployed husband, praise God, just now, and let him know I'm watching your live. And he said, God bless you guys and to be better.
I love that. Thank you.
Pink Punk Trash $1.99. Insomnia has its perks.
Yeah. Yep. It also has its downfalls.
Chris Mitchell $2. I don't think you look old, and y'all are cute as fuck.
I appreciate that. I do appreciate that. It makes me feel good.
I am ready to get off here and do dinner.
Yeah. Are we done with super chats?
Yeah, that was all of them.
Dope. Guys, it's 9:09. We did read all of the super chats and finalize that shit, so we don't have to do that anymore. Go to the To Be Better Reacts channel and subscribe. We need to get to 4,000 hours of watch time on that channel. If we can do that between now and tomorrow, when we do the live, the one chip challenge, we can put it on the reaction channel and do it live on this channel at the same time. Maybe. I don't know how that'll work.
We'll figure it out.
But we're close. And I know that there's enough of you watching that if you just put on the Reacts channel and just play the videos over and over and over again tonight, tomorrow morning we'll wake up at the 4,000 videos, 4,000 hours watched.
That would be dope.
Yeah, I don't have anything. I'm also done. So
Yep.
with that being said, guys, thank you for the love languages. Thank you for hanging out with us tonight. Make sure you hit the notification bell. Make sure that you subscribe to the channel, both of them. And then make sure that you're here next Thursday night at 7 p.m. Eastern for the 5 apology languages. Which is a less known thing for people, and I actually learned some shit from it just from taking the quiz, which you can do online if you want to do that ahead of time.
I recommend you do.
Yeah. We'll see you guys on the next one.
Bye, guys.